All right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 77. It's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special Patreon guest, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who is not only a fellow OG when it comes to his gaming history, but also has the technical acumen to break it all down behind the scenes. Initially the owner of the most dangerous tech blog in the realm, this Lord has recently made the transition to the vlog space, all done with brutal honesty, raw gaming opinions, and is completely self-made. Introducing the host of OptimusCode.net and ruler of the real gamer nation, the Lord of coding and software development, who always give lames the axe while dropping nothing but facts. The last of a dying breed, making his debut into the realm of the Lords. My man, Lord Optimus Code. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You be killing it with these intros, man. They need you in Vegas somewhere before the fights, man, so you can, get the crowd hype, man. What's happening? How y'all doing?
Doing fantastic, man. Appreciate you, bro. We've been talking about this for a while. Getting you in the realm, some OG gaming talk is always welcome in the round table. So it is a pleasure to have you here, man.
I appreciate it, man.
You already know. And of course, we have the four horsemen of gaming, those usual suspects at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Playing some Destiny before I got on the show.
You got that Gambit in? You got that Gambit?
Gambit's fun. It's definitely fun. I've been playing a lot of that Phantom Doctrine game too.
Yo, we're going to get into that on my turn. Woo! Thank you for telling me how to do Overwatch in that game.
You know what's funny?
What's up?
I'm probably about 15 hours in the game, Jesus. And I think I've shot my gun twice.
Yo, you know what's crazy? It's so stealth oriented. And it's funny because I was going to tell Sav about it. Mm-hmm. He would love this game because it's XCOM, but it's really not. It's like stealth, right? It's more, you don't have to kill. And it actually is to your benefit not to, you know what I'm saying, do all of the craziness. You know what I mean? But anyway, so that's all you've been playing?
Yeah, that just pretty much those two games. I've been definitely, pretty much if I'm not doing that, I'm on Twitter talking to people about the Spider-Man downgrade, but we won't go into that.
Oh my God! Here we go. Out here trolling. All right, and of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single-player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. Great to be here. Doing good, man. Doing good, man. I've been playing a lot of stuff this week. We're going to get into paying our bills after everybody does their intros. I'm going to come back around and pay the bills, make sure that our Patreon guys are taken care of. So see what I've been playing. The PlayStation has been dormant, and that's this coming week. This coming week when it gets its shine, right?
There's a certain day that it's going to come out of dormancy.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming out of dormancy this week. I'm on Xbox. I played some of that Gambit yesterday. That's crazy fun. It's really
Wait, it's got Saab's approval.
It's got my approval. Yeah, it's a fun mode. It keeps you running around like a madman. It's I enjoy it. Let me see. I played some Master Chief Collection. Got in there to see how the upgrades look.
That's crazy.
Oh my Lord. Beautiful. And now that it's in Game Pass, all of a sudden you see the games being populated again. You can play some.
We need to have a stream of us playing like the multiplayer or something.
And I'll tell you something about going after you play Destiny for a little bit and then you come back to Halo. Oh man, Halo. Yeah. Destiny helps you a little bit. Let's just say that. Destiny helps. I was getting
You can tell they're both made by the same company.
You get thrashed?
What? Oh my God. I was getting this. Hang 'em high, forget it. Yo.
But hang 'em high, son. That was my joint.
Destroyed. I was getting murdered. So
shout out to Mr. High who got bodied.
Mr. High with the pistol.
Who got bodied there with the pistol.
The pistol. Yeah. High was the pistol or something else.
Remember me, High? Who did that for you?
I also tried out the Batman Arkham Collection. They got its X upgrade. It's just prettier. Unfortunately, it's not running at 60, but it's still prettier. It's most nicer looking. And on that Switch, man, I finally played The Messenger. Fantastic throwback Ninja Gaiden style, 16-bit/8-bit. Oh
yes.
man,
yes. I downloaded. I didn't get a chance to play.
Oh man, look, it starts out 8-bit, like really simple. Then you start getting more powers and like more maneuverability, and you really feel like a ninja. And then it goes left in a way that you're like, oh, wait, really? Okay.
Yeah, when you go through that dimension and you go to the 16-bit world,
it's beautiful. It's funny. It's kind of self-referential in a way, like it just makes fun of a lot of like gamey tropes.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny. It has some comedy elements that are really cool. And then the game that I mentioned to you privately is Into the Breach, man. Into the Breach came out. It kind of landed like a thud. When that in the Nindies Direct, that one more thing, because if you're not a person that paying attention to the PC scene, you didn't realize that this game was sort of big at the beginning of the year in the PC scene. It wasn't. So that one more thing, kind of like, if you don't know what it is, like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, Snow's in the chat. He said he loved it. He said that's
Into
amazing.
the Breach. It is RTS distilled down to its simplest form. It's not like XCOM, where an XCOM, like a fight in XCOM could take like a half hour or whatever, like one battle. Like this is distilled down to simple, like one board. It's basically Pacific Rim. That's what it is. Like that's what the story is.
You know, it's like a really good game I thought it was like overlooked that had that kind of fighting style. It was Massive Chalice.
Yes.
Yeah, I never played Massive Chalice.
Yes.
King is on it.
The game's hard, man.
Yeah, it is hard as hell, man.
And with Into the Breach, man. Into the Breach, you playing on normal, you're getting destroyed. Like, you're getting destroyed. And I'm not the RTS guy, but I think it's perfect for the Switch. Yeah, and it's a great game.
No doubt. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports was a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
We are doing fantastic today. We got one more week for an incredible fight. Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia. Combat Talk will be
coming back
next Saturday. Oh yeah, it's fight season now. Summertime is over. Bum season is done. So tomato can land is over. We got the step up fights. We got dudes mixing it up. Yo, so you will have a steady preference of Combat Talk going all the way through. I think every weekend from here until probably December, to be honest with you, with some big fights coming in December as well. They're trying to get Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, which I think is a massacre on paper, be honest with you. But I wanted to say one thing. I wanted to say, if you're not following LordCognito's Twitter, I think you should. If you're looking at workout things and you go to the gym, you're looking around, you don't know really what to do. What you do is follow LordCognito's Twitter. He posts every day what body part that he's working on. I've been telling him this is where the fraud police is coming in. I'm calling fraud on LordCognito today. Yeah, he get hit with the fraud stamp. He thought it was coming for something else. It's coming for this. The fraud stamp is going on LordCognito today because he posts, calf, did my calf raises, and he out, right? But you got a lot of people that want to understand how you did your calf breakdowns and stuff like that. They do actually look at you, because when I do retweet it, it's so many retweets and likes on it that they want to know what you're doing with your curls, what you're doing with your back, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm calling fraud on LordCognito on that. The fraud police is out here for you, dude. Well, I'm gonna get a little alert, a little police siren. I'm gonna have that next weekend. Listen, I'm not gonna call too many of y'all out there, because it was a whole crew of y'all that showed up on Destiny yesterday. Like, King, what's going on, blood? Hey, what I need to join. I'm not gonna shut y'all out. All right, y'all in. I got no problem with that. It's funny how y'all waited to when Gambit was on that just showed up. But come on in. Clan wants you. The clan wants you. We take you. But then we had certain people that don't normally play Destiny. Lord Sovereign Fraud was in there. yesterday.
Take that.
He gonna take that because we giving it to him, and he gonna take that fraud stamp. He shouted out. He came in. And listen, I really wasn't playing that board yesterday because I did it, and I did it at E3 with the new supers. So when we was playing it with these old supers, it felt kind of off, like Eminem's album Kamikaze. It felt kind of off.
You can't be hating
like
on Kamikaze.
no, I'm not hating on. Listen, I'm not hating on Kamikaze because the bars are definitely there. I don't think his production is there. Shout out Jay Fonzarelli. He was kind of like an old dude with his two-step off, not Jay but M. Real quick. So Sovereign got in there and they was mixing it up. Same thing to his brother. They got in and they were working with the A team. Now he sees it kind of different when he's playing with us than when he's playing with the A team. I know Tat was shouting out mad, do this and do that. I know you're like, what the hell this dude is crazy.
And Monkey, these guys knew exactly what they were doing. It's funny because it was only out for like an hour, and these guys knew what to do.
Strategy crazy. And everything. Listen, I cannot wait for this week because is it our taking, King? I truly believe so. I love the direction where everything is going.
It feel like a wave. It do.
Yes. Yeah. So for all those people that was talking Destiny Dead talk, go get your shovels, go back to your backyard, go dig it up, and come right back in because we here.
Salute to Lord Santo in the chat, one of the newest members of ILP. Clear. You know what I'm saying? He told me, he's like, Cog, I'm in, man. Let me know. And I'm like, okay, that's it. What's up? So yeah, he said he didn't have a clan.
It's funny. Planet Xbox is trying to get me to go on and play Destiny 2 on PlayStation.
Well, you know what it is because what it is it's free now. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's because
Frog's in the chat right now. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's because some of them don't even have an Xbox to play it on now, so they have to play it on PlayStation. And Merc doesn't even have Destiny on Xbox anymore, so he has to play it on PlayStation. I'm like, I'm not playing it on PlayStation. It's not.
The controller sucks. The controller sucks.
Oh my god. Anyway,
you get this space until y'all get your analogs.
I'm not going there.
I'm leaving. Get your analogs. I'm going there. I'm gonna go there with it. The controller's stuck. You get your analogs together.
Well, I will agree with King that I prefer Sony's PlayStation controller DualShock for fighting games. Like that's when I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Play that Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Good thing I don't play fighting is at all.
Oh my god. And of course, we have the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So for me, it's just been Destiny 2. I did the Gambit mode. I got like only 2 games in. I've been crazy busy. And shout out to Addict, man, because like I said, we talked about it earlier. Fandom doctrine, y'all. Like, if you got, where's Depsing? Is Depsing in the chat? All you XCOM lovers, if you don't pick up this game, shout out to Creative Forge Studios, Good Shepherd Entertainment. That game, listen, a little rough around the edges graphically. I'm gonna put that out there right now. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had the budget, you know what I'm saying, that they wanted to most likely needed to have to go all the way with it. But it is up-res to 4K. And the game is really phenomenal, man. It's literally like XCOM, you know, Rainbow Six Siege, and like a true old school spy game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is just so much fun. And like Addict said, you don't have to really fight. Like you can get through situations, and it's crazy. Like it's basically set in the Cold War. You got agents, you like a little secret agency trying to fill out like a whole government conspiracy. You know, your agents could get made. You got to give them new identities, passports, and all that. Like the game is fire. And the music is amazing. Like it sets the timepiece. You want some old, you know, Casablanca type joint.
Yo, let me ask Sovereign a question. Did you play Dandora, Sovereign?
Dandara, no. I know. I know what it is, right? It's that funky like platformer, right?
It is probably. It's in Game Pass right now. So anybody who has Game Pass, I please implore that you go and download this game. It's a 16-bit type of game, 32-bit type of game.
Okay.
It's perfect for the Switch. To be honest with you, I thought it would be a Switch title only. But it's a young African American girl with superpowers, and she wakes up in the world.
Oh, I seen that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, the movement is only like diagonally or something like that.
No,
like
the movement. You can go anywhere. You can go up, down, left, right. Anyway, it is multilateral.
Shout out to John Zel Viagas. He's asking, Dan, is it Dan Dara? We got to get the name from. He's like, please. Dan Dara? Is it Dara?
Yes.
All right, we got you. Johan Zel. There you go.
It is probably one of the sleeper games. I was surprised that it was in Game Pass. I saw it at Microsoft, some of Indies.
Game Pass. Okay.
Yeah, and it's in Game Pass, and I automatically downloaded it. I wanted to say it last week, and it just slipped off my mind. But I started playing it again, and I was like, y'all was talking about this other game, and I just really wanted to get that out there to everybody. If you see me playing something on the low, it's that game.
Shout out to Frog. Frog said, yeah, he's cool. Oh, Chief. Scum is good. We got Lord Snaldo on the ILP YouTube channel. He got a whole preview of that, about an hour gameplay. Please check that out if you want to check out Scum. That from those guys from Devolver Digital. Oh man, they out here.
It's realism. It's realism. It's realism.
Yeah, we had a chance. Me and King had a chance to sit with the devs, all type of stuff. You could put it this way, you could do number 1 and number 2 in that game.
Yeah, for real. And you have to do number 1 and number 2. You have to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the last game for me was just like soft. Master Chief Collection, dusted it off. It's so good to see. You know what I'm saying? And it's that 4K 60, that HDR looking crispy. Ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kofi. I was putting him on because he didn't think he could have it until afterwards. But I was like, nah, if you already had the old one, you're good ahead of schedule. So he was rocking that joint out. 200 gigs.
No doubt. A lot of gigs. But you can do intelligent delivery and break down the downloads for only the ones you want, or the multiplayer you want, which is very cool. So shout out to Dan McCullen.
If I don't install Halo 4, it'll send me something.
No doubt.
So that game like the plague.
So if you want to get into what you get into before we get into code?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. It's that time of the month to take care of our Patreon subscribers, these wonderful people that help us do what we do week in and week out. So we much appreciate it. Just a disclaimer to all, if those personal payments to my PayPal account have not arrived yet, you can consider yourself out of the running.
Fraud alert on the Lord of the Iron Bank.
Irrelevant native, I'm talking to you, brother.
Listen, Lord Saab has a greasy palm. He could be influenced on these wins, He's
the Johnny Manziel of the podcast.
Continue, son. Continue.
All right, so first of all, let me get these shout outs to all of our Patreon subscribers. So let's start out with Lord Whiskey himself. What? Thank you, sir. Member of the Iron Lords.
Lord Fireball.
Fireball. Whiskey man. Followed by the PlayStation Bra. Thank you, my brother.
Oh, yes.
Salute to the bra, man.
See you next year, brother.
And then, of course, Lord Michael Lugo's in the chat right now. Lord Monkey Punch.
Baby, Chi-Town, Illinois. Let's go.
Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And the Lord of Back Compat himself, Mr. Bill Stillwell. Thank you so much for the support.
For that Modern Warfare 2, sir.
Yeah, I know, right? Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. And our newest Patreon subscriber, Lord Ricky Moore. Thank you so much, brother. Much appreciated.
Thank you for supporting the movement, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for coming on. And then, of course, our pal, our buddy, Lord Irrelevant Native. Ow! Thank you, my brother. You hear everything support, and we love you, man. Thank you.
Yes, my PUBG dude.
Lord Spoonman, thank you so much for the support, my friend. Thank you.
Spoon man. Yo, you really think about it? That's pause worthy.
Yeah. Shout out to Spoon man. That's my dude. Don't pause him like that.
I'm just saying. I just thought about it right now.
That's the homie. What else you got?
Followed by Lord J. Fonz. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, my man.
Fantastic content. If you don't listen to Fonz's content, you don't watch his content, go do that.
He's
Fonz's
too.
The intros to his video are the best.
I love his music. It puts you in a place. It puts me in a place, man.
Yeah, his musicality is on point. His air is beautiful. Except for that kamikaze. Jay.
Here we go. Followed by the king of the stream team, Lord Snaldo himself.
No doubt.
Appreciate all the help and support. Followed by Lord Cat Daddy Fat Stack. I think he's in the chat today. I think he must be on vacay because he's
he up in here.
He up in here.
No, he up in here. I saw him early up in the chat. He up in here. Cat Daddy's up in here. That's what's up.
The Cole himself, Loaded Pixels. Thank you, my brother.
That's my dude. Good to see him on Twitter.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There go Cat. He like black, black, black. No.
Followed by Lord Snail Killer himself, Diago Padras.
He's back. I seen him recently. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Lord Death Singer. Thank you for the support, my brother.
Oh yeah, that baby. That boy got a. If you like ESO, Elder Scrolls Online, man, he got a mean clan, boy.
Yeah, it's clan. Yeah, they so exclusive. They shut the door on me
they shut the
when
door
I got
on
in
us.
the room, and they told the dude, "Yo, lock the chat." Like what? Hey yo, when they said lock the chat, because I jumped in, I was like, "What's up, Def? How y'all doing, guys?" It was like lock the chat. I said, "What?"
No.
And of course, last but absolutely not least, our honored guest today, Lord Optimus Cole.
The Lord of Cole.
Yes.
Right, you put some respect on that name.
Thank you, my brother, for coming through. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, and thank you for all the support you've given us from the very beginning. We much appreciate it from all of you guys.
Yes.
Thank you. So,
Delilah, hold on a second, guys. Delilah, I got you. When I get on today, you're gonna be on Destiny. I'm gonna add you just like I had everybody else, but we gotta be on. See, because a lot of these dudes, they be adding from their phone. I'm not having that on my phone. I got too much alerts popping in from other stuff. So I'm gonna jump in, see you physically there. It's like a real job, and not it's a new job. You coming in, I'm gonna give you the application. You're gonna sign the paperwork. We approve. You in. Don't worry, we got you, Delilah.
So we all squared up. We ready to fraud these winnings?
Yeah, now let's just get into the business.
Let's get into the business. Let's go.
So real quick, let's get into these giveaways. So we're gonna start off with our $10 gift card giveaway, and that first one goes to
we got
Lord Monkey Punch Michael Lugo.
Yo, they thinking it's a conspiracy, bro. Shout out to Monkey Punch, man. What do you want? What you got that $10?
We got that $10 gift card.
No
doubt. Hit you up in the DMs and I'll get you that as soon as possible.
Yes, sir. DMs, as you heard. Yo, look at the emojis right now when you talking. So.
All right. The $20 gift card. Michael Lugo, thank you for that payment to that PayPal. My PayPal looking fat. All right. Our $20 gift card goes to Lord Spoonman.
I put some respect on his name. That's what's up. Shout out to Spoonman. That's my guy. Go ahead.
Congratulations, Lord Spoonman. I'll get you that info in your DM soon. And the winner of our ILP T-shirt.
Oh, this the big one. This the big.
Yeah, it's the big one this week. There's no game. There's no game this month. There's no game this month.
Game this month.
Big one this week.
Feel like a lord.
All righty.
Who's gonna feel like a lord today?
Who's gonna feel like a lord today? That will go to Lord Optimus Cole.
Hold on. No, put that back in. Draw somebody else, man. Let somebody else.
Look at that.
That's what's up.
Thank you. Let me get Lord Cole.
Wait, while we on that real quick, because I hit King up for T-shirts. I'm like, man, you got T-shirts for the big guys? He said, man, I'm gonna have you in a little bit. Right now, we got is like 2X.
No.
T-shirt for everybody in the family.
Okay.
No, no. I told you we was up to 3X. I got that 3X. That's what I thought. Yeah, see, and that was the thing, because I was keeping our chat on the low. That was our chat. Keeping that on the side,
All right, so we're gonna re-roll this one. We're gonna re-roll it. Thank you, Lord Cole.
Re-roll. Here we go.
Let's go. So the winner of the T-shirt this month is Lord J. Fawn.
Wow, Fawn, baby. I'm telling y'all more chances to win if y'all get in that Patreon, baby.
That's what I get for trolling you, right, J. Fawn?
You gotta expand the pot. That's
what's up.
Native is cursing me right now.
DJ Singh, stay on your head though. He Lord Fraud with the re-roll. Salute. That's what's up, man.
Salute, guys. Again, thank you so much for your ongoing support. We really appreciate it. And let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Let's get into it. So now we got into the Iron Bank and what the Lords have been playing, I want to start off with Lord Optimus Code, his video game system history, his journey as a software developer for over 30 years, and of course, what led him to creating the most dangerous vlog in Optimus Code.net. I'm telling y'all got to be safe out there. So, Lord Code, let's start from the beginning, man. Let's start with some OG game talk. What were some of the first video game systems you had, and what got you into gaming?
Well, actually, before we do that, real quick, just real quick.
Sure.
King intro, when he said we had a big fight coming up this week,
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was talking about his Spider-Man God of War battle with
Oh, that's coming. That's coming. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Attic yesterday was like, I wonder what game King's gonna buy me.
Yo, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I believe Attic started that whole Spider-Man puddle nonsense. And I think if you trace the root source of the thing, it will go to his fraud account that it has only one. It has no post or nothing. I believe.
Shout out to Lord Kofi.
Yeah, but listen. That'll be next month when them MPDs roll in, and he understands. Yeah, he understands exactly. See, the God of War dude is holding on with teeth and nails. Oh, teeth and nails.
There's no need to hold on.
Yeah, listen, Spider-Man is webbing that face. Web your mouth. Web your mouth. Web your mouth. Web your mouth.
I don't know, man. The way them puddles were looking, that web.
Yo.
He's stupid.
Yo, see what you started, Code? You see what you started? So let's bring it back to Code for a second. So let's talk from the beginning, but let's talk about those game systems. What kind of got you in? What were the first game systems you had?
Man, I'm just going, well, like I told y'all before, I don't know who all been paying attention, but I'm 54 years old. So literally,
absolutely,
the very first, like Pong literally was the very first video game that I saw on a home console, and I was hooked.
Yes.
Yeah, from day one.
From day one, everyone had that Pong. That's what's up. Now, as far as like from a console, so you start. I'm assuming also you went from there to arcade. Did you stay console? Like, give me the genesis of that.
Well, I seen it at a friend's house, and so then I had to cut grass and do all of this stuff to try to get one on my own. But then while I was trying to build up my funds to get my own Atari, of course I went to the arcades, and then so it was basically in the arcades until I got one at home.
No doubt, baby. Everybody putting OG in the chat right now. Respect. That's what's up.
Right.
No doubt. That's what's up, man. We appreciate that. So now, as far as like once you saved up and everything, then so like, would you get the 2600? Like, what was the first from your bread, your money that you like? This console's mine.
Yeah, it was the 26.
No doubt. All right, and then from the eras on forward, like what was like some of the systems that you had, or from that point you just kind of had everything?
Yeah, I've always had everything after that. There is, yeah, I believe in gaming wherever the games are, and I refuse to restrict myself at all.
Smart. That's some OG. I respect that, man. And like I would say, I guess the question for you, because you had everything. Let me ask you a different question. Like, as far as like the eras, like obviously we had the 8-bit era, NES, you know what I'm saying, Sega Master System, you know, moving to 16-bit, you know what I mean, Turbo, Genesis, Super Nintendo, you know, which eras from back in the day do you consider, like, you know, like hip hop, we have the golden era? Yeah. What's the golden era for Lord Code? I want your perspective on that.
The golden era of gaming for me.
For you.
Man, that's a tough one.
It's tough, right? Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously when I first started, when I got my first computer is when it really opened up, because they had stuff on a computer that I wouldn't even dreamed of on a console. And I'm gonna have to go ahead and say probably that 16-bit was probably the golden era. Yeah.
Yo, that was it for me too, man. 16-bit was so special because you had a hungry Sega, you know, fresh off the Master System. Let's call it an L. You know, as much as I'm a Sega kid, the NES was running these streets. NES was fantastic, and then to see them so aggressive with Genesis, right, Solve, and it was like a rebirth, and you know, just see. And then,
but at that same time that you're saying that 16-bit era, and I know he understands what I'm about to say.
Go for it.
We had the 16-bit era. The graphics weren't arcade perfect yet. right? So we still had that arcade element,
I
that
know where you're
the
going, Kenny.
overseer.
Yes.
So that's when a quarter meant something. That's when you had a pocket full of rockets. Those quarters that you had right there. You understand? You walked in to the arcade, you put your quarter up on that. You looked them in the eye when you put that quarter up there too. And you was like, "I'm next, bro."
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience, your arcade experience, because you're old enough, just like me, to understand that feeling walking in and hearing ding, 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 that feeling. You understand that? Pop, 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 pop. They don't got this here. They don't understand this.
So it was I live in a campus town, and it was an arcade right in the heart of campus called Spaceport. And, I mean, it was packed, right? So you go there, and I remember when they brought out Miss Pac-Man.
Legendary.
For whatever reason, I was able to, let's say, get there early. And so I learned a couple of the routes, and I was going through doing my thing. And then, of course, right around 7 to 8 o'clock at night is when you really need to be there.
Yep.
Went home, did some stuff, came back to the arcade. The line was long, slammed my quarter on the thing, just like you said. And for whatever reason, man, I was just in a groove, and I got to I don't know, maybe 20 levels in off of that one life. Like the crowd was around me, and it was just
talk about it.
Yeah, and it was just like, man, people look at him like, man, what does this do? Because so when you live in a college town, if you're from the town, they call you a townie. It's a clear difference between the kids that's here to go to school and the kids that's here because they live here.
Right.
And because of my background and my appearance, it was obvious that I was not a student.
Tell them about it.
They were really stunned that a townie could get this far in this game that required all of this prowess and skill. And so it was just like the crowd was growing. I was like the underdog. And the crowd was growing, and basically that night is when I cemented myself in Miss Pac-Man, and I put you could put in 3 letters for your initials.
Yes.
And I put my 3 letters in for my initials, and that stood there for I don't know, 7 to 8 months, man. I was top in Miss Pac-Man.
King, I'm glad you asked. Legendary because the thing about it, somebody's echoing right now. I don't know who's echoing, but the thing there you go. So the thing about it is what Lord Code is saying that is so true is the arcade experience from not only the competitive 2-player experience, then it's the 1-player because you only had the 3 lives. So like Lord Code said, it's a display of skill to stay on, right? Just to keep going and to be able to put your name, and then that means you own that spot. Like when people came to that game, when it was booted up and they shows the first thing that boots up, title screen, and then them high scores.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, who's that cog? Who's that? And I know what you mean, you talk about with the townies and all that stuff, that reference, because it's also where we from, I remember my first, many people know, obviously, LordCognito, aka Shinobi. That's where it came from. Shinobi was the game for me. And I've never I'd always forget, going 167th. And there was a kid that he played that game. And he was so good at Shinobi, people would crowd around him.
Yeah,
and, at the end, he beat it and he put Dawn. I was like, yo, that's the Shinobi Dawn. I gotta get that nice. It was, you know what I'm saying? Code is talking facts. I was like, I will be the Shinobi Dawn. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic story, Cole.
Somebody in the chat mentioned Dragon's Lair.
Yes, that's Mr. Ha is Dragon's Lair. See, we all have, each one of us all have a one game that we are very, very, very good at. Unbeknownst to LordCognito, my game was Strider.
Oh, yeah, I don't need to hear that story.
Unbeknownst to him. And listen, little known secret is only just us and the 61 people watching that need to hit them likes, right? But this is how I suck at LordCognito. Listen. He went and he spent $79.50 for his cartridge. That was what it was. It was 32 meg.
No, it was the first 8 megabit cartridge for the Sega Genesis Strider. Home release, basically arcade perfect almost. Continue.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
he put it in, and he was like, "Oh, he was gracious because he was the host, and I was in the house." And he passed me the controller. And with that one guy, I didn't die, and I ended his game. I said, "All right, I'm gonna go home now. Catch you later."
Yeah, like Cole, he violated a lot of principles that day. And one thing you gotta understand is back in those days when you bought a game and you came back to the house, it was a single player game, you showcasing your game. Rule number one was you could not clown that man who purchased that game because that was his hard-earned money, even if it was trash. You laughed after he left. Oh man, that was trash. But whatever.
What type of rules is this?
Those rules will get you hurt. Those rules will get you hurt. Those rules, if you violated those rules, you could get hurt. Tell him the ponytail man that he brought over. He get hurt.
Because what it is like, especially, you know what it is, Cole? Especially when you bought a new console and you bring it over your friend's house, like that's a problem. You're like, oh, let me show. And our friend brought over like a Jaguar, and we was not impressed, so we had to keep it together. And then when he left, we was that was worse. Like we just said, fiberballs. We wasn't about that life. But the thing with King violated the other rule, which is your day one purchase. You let your friend play, but you don't finish his game.
Never end a man's game on his day one purchase.
So the only revenge I got on him was Neo Geo Fatal Fury. Salute to Andy Bogart and that cheesy elbow that I ran.
I gotta prefix this with this. It wasn't day one. I had brought this $250 cartridge, the cartridge, not the system. All right, and I'm in my house playing this game, and I can't get past two guys, and the boss was there, and I'm telling Cognito, I said, "This is hard as hell. I don't think I'm ever gonna get past this." Proceed, Cognito.
I picked my man Andy Bogart, and for those who don't know Fatal Fury, shout out to Fonz because I think he had a Fatal Fury gamer pick one time. Is Terry Bogart, Andy Bogart, the brothers, and the one brother, and he just had this cheat move. It was like back forward, and it was an elbow. And you can literally cheese this move on all of the bosses. So literally, I got there and I was like, all right, let me try. And I just completely blazed the boss. And he looked at me, he said, you know what? You got me back. You got
one move. And he ended the game. Credits coming up. I'm like, this brother here.
Salute to Cole for taking us back, man. Fantastic.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Oh man, you took us back right there. So and then obviously the era. So you said 16-bit era. Definitely agree with you. I agree with you for sure. So now I just want to talk about what you're known for, which is Lord Code, the software developer. Like as a fellow IT lord, I tried code, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I found out quickly I wasn't built for that life. So salute to you on that. So tell us about how you kind of transition into the career aspect.
Well, I mean, obviously it was for video games. Like I was playing video games. It's what I loved. It's what I did. And I was like, how do you do this? Like, what's the name of this job? And back then, like programming wasn't as prevalent as it is now. It was rare to be a programmer. And so I started just looking around in EGM magazines and just trying to figure out like, what is the name of this job? And eventually I was put on the programming. And so that's what I started. I started on my own at first and started getting better and better. Actually, here's an interesting fun fact.
Let's go.
I really got into programming for video games, and I got together. Remember, I told you I'm at a college town, so I got together with a group of students, and we wanted to make a video game. And how much of this story can I tell? So anyway, we ended up making the video game, but I learned a lot of lessons in that. We went through issues with publishers and different developer contracts. We really understand NDAs at the time. We made our design document. We left it with another company. They stole our idea. They made it like almost exactly like ours. But they
PUBG'd you? Fortnite?
They did, yeah.
They Fortnite you?
I know the NDAs are effective. Can you say what the game was that they made?
I probably better not.
Better not. All right, we'll keep you. We'll get you out of trouble. We'll get you out of trouble. Because I'm very curious to know who running off with my mans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Fortnite in him. Oh man.
So from that though, we ended up getting a publisher way too late. We had lost our momentum, and we were still using sprites. We had 3D sprites, but they were still sprites. And Quake had came out with the first polygon characters. So everybody was switching to polygon characters. We finally released the game like 2 years late. And so everybody, the team basically just split up. And,
Yo, time out. Optimus. You have at least 20 people that's watching, that's yelling out, say the name. You can't leave us like that. And you got one person that just yelled out, get the strap.
Yeah, and also, and Cat Daddy, the chat is lit. And Cat Daddy wants to ask also, like, can you ask if you were like formally schooled or self-taught in the coding arena as well?
Both. So I started out on my own, and then I went to school for it. But then I didn't finish school for it because I started working. They just kept me in the workplace, offering me more and more money. Programming is the type of thing where if you have a high aptitude for it, you can pretty much do whatever you need to do, and it's like nothing can hold you back because it's a display of skill, and if you understand it, you can outcode people with 5 or 6 degrees. It don't matter if you have the aptitude for it.
I feel you, man. I feel you. So then, kind of like after that experience, did that kind of transition you or sour you to the industry based on, you know what I'm saying, this game out there stealing y'all ideas and, you know?
Hold on. Let me so it did, and I'm gonna tell y'all. So I will tell y'all as much as I can.
Yeah, they're not letting it go. They're not letting it go.
Yeah. The game
they said at least say the type of game. I'm sorry.
Well, it was. So we was one of the first ones to do a third person with the camera over the shoulder game. That was our design. Nobody had done it yet. And so they in 3D setting with a 3D sprite over basically the third person view is what we had come up with. Put all of that in our design doc.
It was epic again.
Epic. Yo,
they stole your Gears of War.
No.
We gonna find out who this is.
Epic strikes again.
It was before Gears of War.
Okay.
Basically, what we was doing, we wanted the publisher, since we were so new, we didn't have any background in the gaming industry. We wanted to show the publishers that we really knew what we was talking about. So we explained all of this stuff in our design document. And the game that ended up like stealing our idea, it was only 3 initials in the game. So the name of the game is Bump Bump Bump. It's just 3 letters in the name. The first letter is an M, and the last letter is a K.
Oh, wow!
They stole our whole little rip, but we still. So here's the interesting story, though. That ain't even an interesting story. The interesting story is that once we saw that, like, they beat us to market, and it took us a while to finish the game. We went from publisher to publisher. We finally got it published by Bandai, I think, was who ended up publishing it. And so the team split up. And one of our main texture guys, he was a kid, graduated from the university. His name was Shikai Wang. And he moved up to Chicago. And he was like, come up to Chicago. We need programmers. Because I had programmed all of the AI in our game. I was responsible for all of the AI, their patterns, and all of this stuff. And he was like, man, we need programmers up here. They'll pay you good. But I didn't move up to Chicago because I had a lot of ties here, family, church, those types of things. And so he moved up to Chicago. I mean, he kept sending me emails. He kept calling me. They need an AI guy, so on and so forth. I didn't come. The name of the company that he went to go work for, well, hold on one second.
Let's go.
The company ended up relocating to California. The name of the company was Bungie, and the game that they made was Halo. And I'm not kidding. And a lot of the AI patterns that you see in Halo was ideas that Shikai took from our game that he brought to Bungie, and that's why they was trying to get me on board.
Wow.
Like the guy with the shield. If you look in our game, the name of our game is called Esoteria. And if you look in there, you'll see the enemies. You see the guy with the riot shields. They tried to work together in groups. They did coordinated attacks. It was like, for us, if we could have got published, we really probably would have made a mark on the industry. But we didn't know what we was doing. The business side of things is what messed us up.
I hear you.
And then, of course, they went and made Destiny. So I hear y'all talk all this Destiny stuff. And like Shakai is they head of art at Bungie. I'm not sure if he still is, but like the last couple of years he was. And so he fell out of touch. So all y'all Destiny stories always make me think like, man, I should have went up to Chicago,
because that would have been you, man.
Yeah,
that would have been you. It's so crazy.
Technically, I'm selfish right now.
And can you echoing?
I'm echoing.
Somebody was. My bad. No, you good. You good.
Technically, I'm selfish right now because if you would have went to Chicago, we wouldn't get this interview. So,
selfishly for the Lords, we love these stories.
I'm gonna be selfish right now. And by the look of your outset in the back, you ain't hurting for cash. So,
He's doing quite well, but
you're doing quite well for yourself. I don't know if you're pushing a Ferrari or something like that, because that's what you definitely would have been pushing with Bungie. But I love the teddies in the back.
No, absolutely. Yo, this is so crazy because it's like, again, it just shows you, how paths can change. You know what I'm saying? And just as far as the industry. So like, as far as like that AI, because that's one thing that we have to give Bungie a little credit. Like, that their games are known, especially Halo, right? Those games are known for fantastic. Yeah, that's what kind of set it up. Yo, shout out to Cat Daddy. He said, we need reparations for this. But, it's like, it's one of those things like, now that you think about it, like when you see, these things, like, I know you said like, maybe like you felt the way. What about your people? Like, are they still in the game? Are they like, what are those guys up to?
Oh yeah, I got so pretty much everybody on that team went out to do big things, was successful.
Nice.
When our lead developer, he ended up working, he became the lead developer for THQ, I think.
Oh, you dropped it.
He did The Incredibles. He did a bunch of licensed games, so he did really well for himself. One of our other guys, our low-level guy, the low-level guy was who would do everything in assembly. And he worked with because back then there were multiple 3D cards, and everybody was fighting for that space to see who would be. And back then it was 3DFX who was the video card. And so he was the guy that would just do all the low-level stuff to get frame rate and resolution up to speed. And he ended up going over to, he's the lead developer for Rocket League, I think. But he's done like a lot of things. Then I've got quite a few people who work for Sony. They did like the Star Wars Online. They did a couple of people that worked with at id right now. Andy Chang, he did like Doom 2, this latest Doom, not Doom 2, I'm sorry, Doom 3, this latest Doom. He works for id. So a lot of their titles he does. And then I got a couple of people who work behind the scenes and producing.
Nice.
And we try to stay in touch like every 2 or 3 years. We might send an email to a group chat or something.
That's what's up, man. It's tremendous stories. This is crazy. And I know you're doing fantastic right now. You're not hurting right now. But I want to ask you, like, if the right bag came across from a certain publisher, a certain dev, would Lord Code be tempted to get on into some even the AAA, quadruple A space?
So I'm gonna answer that question honestly, and the answer is no. And it's not because of the so it's not because I don't have the love for it, but it's a long time ago with the development process. There's this thing called crunch time, which basically means you have to put in all these hours. There's this deadline coming up. You got to hit gold master and like all of this stuff you have to do, and it requires a lot of effort from the development team. And I quickly realized, like you said, I'm not hurting, and I have been blessed, to achieve a certain amount of financial success. But at the end of the day, why would I work 80 hours to get the same money that I can get in 40 hours?
Preach. And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
The game industry, the amount of overtime that's required That's too much for me. So no, I'll stay where I'm at.
Listen, I think, and I'm so glad you said that, just from the standpoint, because a lot of gamers don't understand that crunch. I'm glad you said that when a game before it goes live, there's that window, right? And it's go time. Your life is that game and nothing but that game. And it's a, I don't want to say all experiences, all companies, it's a bad experience, but I've heard the horror stories. I've seen some people tell me and explain and break it down to me. So you're just saying that actually brings it back to light. And that's when like I said, I knew I wasn't built for that. But to hear you say it kind of validates that. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah, it's rough. So I would like to, get the glory of having been on a AAA title.
Let's go.
I don't want to put in the work to get that.
That's real.
Listen, it's real. It's whether you want to be successful or I get it, man. I completely understand it. And if you're gonna do better, and you stay under the radar, you don't got that stress in your life, I'm with that, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. So last thing I would ask, LordCognito, this is funny because pretty much when I came across your channel, you know what I'm saying, and actually I should say channel, your site. Let me get that correct. You know what I'm saying? OptimusCode.net. You know what I'm saying? For those don't know, you know what I mean? You kind of like you're doing things your own way, which I love. It's a unique spin. It's a unique take. It's hardcore, but you had something on there called the Real Gamer Protocol. Because we all know there's levels to this gaming. You know what I'm saying? It was levels to this. And LordCognito broke it down so clean, y'all. So for those uninformed, let me just break it down. Help me break it down. Now you said it's the casual, the hobbyist, the enthusiast, and the real gamer. Right. So break it down. We got to know where some of these lords might have to put some fraud alerts out there.
There we go. Let's get it.
Break down the Real Gamer Protocol, those 4 categories to let the people know.
Well, basically, if you ask the question, and it's a serious question, like what is a gamer? And a lot of people will say like the hardcore gamer, and it's like, what does that mean to be a hardcore gamer? And they would say hardcore versus casuals. And for them, those are the 2 categories. But like I said in the video, this woman that I used to work with, she was a beast at Solitaire, which was a game you could get on a Windows PC. Yes. Anytime you bought a Windows PC, you would get Solitaire.
Yep. Hey, was it Minesweeper? What was that one?
And she was hardcore at Solitaire. Like nobody was dedicated to that game the way that she was. So in that sense, she was hardcore, but we still wouldn't call her a gamer. And so this notion of the Real Gamer Protocol is just, there are 5 rules that must all exist to be a real gamer.
Ooh, that's him.
If you don't have every one of those, you're not a real gamer. But then people still game. So what if you have 2 of the 3 or 4 of the 5, however you want to put it? Like, what am I then? Like, what's the classification? So that's where I came up with, you do have the casuals. Then you do have like the hobbyists. Then you have the enthusiasts, which are a little bit more serious than the hobbyists. And then you got the real gamers like Addict. That one boy can game. He is a real gamer.
But see, I want to take Addict's points away from Addict.
He's the Cognito trying to fraud him.
I'm trying to fraud him because he ain't do his history. He ain't do the knowledge. Like he's supposed to go back to the joints. You know what I'm saying? To the golden era.
He's not about that.
He's not about that life. So can we take some fraud points from that, or he's still a real gamer?
No, he is a real gamer because it don't matter when you started.
No doubt.
It ain't where you from. It's where you at. And he has all of the qualifications of a real gamer.
No doubt. That's what's up, man. Addict, would you like to comment on your real gamer status, or you solidified? You comfortable?
I don't need to comment on anything.
That's nice. That's nice that you would classify him as a real gamer. I will classify him as a hardcore casual.
Oh my God!
I will say this. You know, when an addict is quiet, you know he's busy gaming. So while
he's gaming right now.
He's gaming right now.
Right now,
he's talking all that OG talk.
It's whatever, King, because it's a fact that I beat more games than you. So you know,
that's the thing that you think in your head that makes you, great or something. I beat a game. I've played more games than you've seen.
How am I a hardcore casual?
So this is don't. All right. I'm gonna let you get it out, right? and then I'm going to tell
There's no
you.
getting out. It's fast.
Did you get it out of your
Did
system?
you beat God of War?
Did you
beat
No,
Zelda?
it's garbage to me. I'm sorry. It doesn't hold my attention. I'm just like, no, I'm good with this. Going over here, get this map, then go back to the same place to get this map. It's too much backtracking. Give me Tomb Raider. Get out of here with this bushy stuff. Throw that joint in the bushes, man. I got it, though.
I mean,
I got it, though. I tried. I tried. Addict, I tried.
Yeah, I got mad love for you. I got mad respect for your gaming pedigree. Everybody got the right to their opinions, and everybody's not gonna like everything. That is certainly true.
That is true.
That is true. Lost your mind.
No, you know. Listen,
I your attention.
Listen to this. Listen, I want you to understand this. I played all the other God of Wars, beat them from beginning to end, up and down, left and right. When they went to this perspective, okay, that's good for Gears of War. Okay, it's nice that you went this way with it. Cool. I'll get back to it when I get to it. Am I looking for Spider-Man? Yeah, I'm looking for Spider-Man. You can ask me if I finished Spider-Man. Ask me that. But this, if he wants to hold that over my head, saying, "Did you finish this? Did you finish Alex Kidd in Wonderworld?" No, you didn't. Did you finish Keith Courage? No, you didn't. Did you? Yo, I would start naming games, and then you'd start sitting there. Did you finish Ninja Scroll? Did you finish? So then you're not a gamer then. If you didn't go back, and then you didn't go pay homage to Mecca.
Let me get this straight.
Go get it out.
I gotta play these whack ass 18-bit games before I'm considered a gamer.
18-bit? So we already know you're a fraud. You just said 18-bit.
Real quick,
never mind.
Somebody in the chat asked me for the 5 rules to the Real Gamer Protocol.
Yes.
And really quick. So now you can't just look at this list and read it. You got to make sure that you get the mantra that goes with it. And the list goes, or the mantra is, while there is value in the things on the right, we value the things on the left more. So you're not choosing one thing over the other. You just saying, I understand there's value in this thing, but I have more value in the other one. So the 5 rules is you prefer gameplay over graphics. And what that means is we understand that there is value in graphics, but we prefer gameplay more. So that's the first one, gameplay over graphics.
Okay.
The second one is you prefer diversity over lack of variety. So like my son, any first person shooter to come out, he all over it. But if you try to get him to play like Shovel Knight, he's like, oh, that's trash. Like he only plays one type of game, and anything else he considers is not a game. A real gamer plays multiple types of games. You might not like everything, but you're gonna have more than 1 or 2 genres that you play.
Talk that genre talk.
And then the third rule to the Real Gamer Protocol is you prefer incredible gaming experiences over platform loyalty. So I don't care if it's on Switch, I don't care if it's on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. It doesn't matter. Where the games are is where I am.
Optimus Coach doing the Lord's work right now.
And then the fourth rule to the Real Gamer Protocol is real gamers prefer to form their own opinions over listening to reviewers and review scores. And now that's not to say that, again, it's not to say that there is no value in those things, because there is. It's just that a real gamer will put more value in getting their own opinions. There are plenty of games that the people have said that I shouldn't like, and I love it. There are plenty of games that the people said that I should love, but they just didn't do it for me.
That's that God of War that you talking about right there.
Listen,
tell them about it.
Let me tell you right now, you preaching the Lord's work right now, because you're gonna love the poll question at the end of the show, because you literally on the same way. That's crazy right there that you said that. Continue.
And then the last one is quite simply, and it's really one of the most important ones. And again, that's why Addict is on his list, because he got all 4 of them, and he really has this last one.
He don't got that other one.
The OG stamped him. Right, we gotta get.
All right.
You know what? Listen, I noticed that he's been steering his boat towards Addict side of the water. And I'm not gonna go for it. I'm gonna watch the steering.
I wasn't gonna do this to you, but let's compare achievements. Let's compare games.
Yo. You going on? You know? Okay. Also, let me tell you something. My old
now look
name.
at this.
Listen, wait.
Changed
Listen.
around this.
No.
conversation.
Listen. Addict. Before you do that, I want you to ask Cognito this question. What was my game? What was my game name before that? It was Melon Buster 1, right?
Yes, that is true.
Now, what happened
You got no
was
Cuphead achievement. You got 100% in battle.
Listen, I want you to listen. I want you to listen to this. My old account was Melon Buster 1. On that account, I have 500 360 games. I couldn't bring over those achievements that me and Mr. High worked so hard on fighting for because it was something wrong with my email account. That's how I got King David. I had to change
was always
my whole
Melon
thing.
Buster. Everybody that know he was always Melon Buster 1. But we're not here for that. We gotta get back.
Wait, time out. But also, I want to say, is my achievements from Neo Geo up there? Is my achievements from Turbo Graphics up there? Is my achievements from GameCube up there? Take your fraud behind back in the bushes and play whatever you playing, and shut up with your new age fake technology you have yourself. Just take yourself back to the bushes and let's get back to Optimus Code.
I'm sure you love to get back to Optimus.
Let's go. Code.
Love that.
Anyway. Go, see what you started? So finish your last one. I'm sorry, bro.
Oh, man, I might not be able to go on with all of this fusion.
You started it. You sat there. You pushed me at him. So I had to tear him up. I gotta take him off of here because there's only one, and that's me.
Words from the Lords and the Hawks.
The last rule number 5 of the Real Gamer Protocol is quite simply: real gamers prefer legit gaming skills over game guides and cheat codes. And that's pretty much it. Now, again, that's not to say that you won't ever use a guide. I think it's rare that you would ever use a cheat code, but if it was rare, so you may use a guide, but it's not to say that we don't use guides. We just say there's more value in gaming skills over gaming guides. So that's pretty much all 5 of the rules.
Fantastic. What do you have to say about that, King?
Oh my God.
No, I like everything that he just said, because this is what I tried to tell y'all a long time ago. Because I hear y'all say it a lot in the chat. Yo, go look at YouTube so y'all can see how to do this. Or I heard that this guy said that game was whack, so I don't know. I've told you plenty of times, I live my life through me. I don't live my life through. That's why I can't sit there and watch you play a game, because I don't care about what you're experiencing. That's the part you don't get into your head. That's why I don't understand Twitch, because I can't watch another man play a game. I will go buy the game. I will experience it myself. I won't go to YouTube to figure out how to do something that somebody else figured out on his own.
It's a different generation. It's at the end of the day.
And this is why I let Addict be Addict. Do you, brother?
Let me jump in right, because I think I might have caused some confusion. Again, it's not to say that we won't use game guides, and it's just saying that we prefer. Like a few weeks ago, y'all had Eric's on, and he really helped me with the division. I mean, because he had the time to do a deep dive into the new weapon sets and all the gear. And I was like, okay, I see what he's talking about. Now I would take that though as a building block and go do the rest myself.
Right.
But there's only so many hours in a day, so there's nothing wrong with supplementing or using different things to build your own knowledge. Right. What I mean is, you're not gonna go look for, I can't beat this boss, let me go see how you do.
And this generation has that. They actually have more access in King's defense. They have more access to that. Whereas in our generation, it was kind of like you had to either wait for the strategy guide for that to be released. You had to either from Solve Node, you had to call a hotline. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Hotlines.
Thank God I was born later.
I love it, young wolf. Or remember this, there was even literally modification devices, aka Game Genie. You know what I'm saying? That would allow you to do these cheat things and infinite lives and all this other stuff. So it's just different eras, you know what I'm saying? But there is a stark contrast to what's going on. But
again, I want to emphasize, it don't mean we don't do it if there's no value in it. It just means we value the other things more. Because I mean, truth being told, like I'm playing Ori and the Blind Forest right now.
Mhm.
And it's one thing to watch somebody get through a level, but that don't mean you can do it just because you've seen them do it. It's still going to
Yes.
take.
Yeah, people
certain
is
they
true.
can watch me fight the orphan on Bloodborne. Don't mean they gonna beat him themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Now, when it
DJC.
comes down to it, man, like if people look up guys, that's their business. They paid for that game. Who am I to tell them they can't do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
who
absolutely.
are you to tell somebody to throw God War in the bushes and you worrying about it?
Oh no. We
I
ain't
threw
even
mine
go
in the
into that.
bushes.
We ain't
I
even
threw it.
go
I
into
purchased
that.
it. I do
We
what I
gotta
want to
move on
do
from
with it.
God of War.
I threw it in the bushes, but I'm playing a Spider-Man though soon.
It doesn't matter. God of War gonna get me a free game, so it doesn't matter.
You're always about the free.
I
You
am
should be
about
Yeah,
that.
Lord
that was
Mooch.
man PD.
Your name should be Lord Mooch. That's what your name should be.
Already
my
took.
God. Shout out to Mooch. So we just gonna
When you
finish
beat
up.
Cuphead, come back and talk to me.
I'm not beating Cuphead. I already told you. I threw that right in the bushes when I couldn't get past that board. I said, "Hi, Cuphead. Bye,
Got
Cuphead."
the two. We can't keep it real.
Yeah,
So
why don't
we
you finish a raid though?
I do finish the raid.
I ain't see you. Check your completions. Check mine.
We didn't even go
Why don't
into
you put that up?
We're not gonna go
Why
into
don't you
that.
put up my
We're not
17
gonna go
clears?
into that because it's not gonna
You ain't even beat a
It's
prestige raid yet. Go sit down.
We're not gonna go into that.
Moving along. Last thing for Lord Code, because he got everybody all fired up today. This is fun. All right, so for the we gotta get you to the hard part, man. We challenge every guest with this. I need Lord Code top 5 games or franchises of all time. In your opinion.
Man, I knew you was gonna ask me that.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Let me say something first. I need to put a little caveat in here
All
first because I don't like misinformation or misleading people. So let me be very clear.
No doubt.
Does anybody know who Jackie Owens is or who Jackie Owens was?
I do
Yes.
not.
He was he was a black track player.
Right.
Oh yeah.
He was a track runner, an Olympian back in the olden days.
Mhm.
And what he did was he won the Olympics for the United States, and he stood up there and he put the little black glove that
Right,
represented
yes.
black power.
Yes.
And the reason that was important, it was vitally important, because the world was fresh off of World War II, and the
Mhm.
Germans were there with this whole master race thing.
Yes.
And it was expected that the Germans,
Mhm.
just because they're purebred German
Mhm.
race, could beat the world at these sporting events.
Mhm.
And when Jackie
Yeah.
Owens beat
I remember him
that
now. I just
German,
forgot the name. I apologize.
yeah,
Continue.
when he
Mhm.
beat that German, he changed the narrative for the entire world, and he made opportunities, and people started viewing black people and minorities
Mhm.
very differently than they had before, because you had to accept that not only can they be equal, they can be superior. And that was a big thing in the time that he lived in.
Yeah, it was iconic. It was an iconic pose. Too.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So now if you look at track and field runners today,
Mhm.
I think his time, I don't remember his time, Google knows, but whatever his time was,
Mhm.
the worst track and field runner today
Mhm.
will destroy the time that he had.
Mhm.
They will all have better records than him as far as running the race that he ran and doing it in a shorter amount of time.
Mhm. Check the chat. It's saying Jesse Owens. Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jesse
Gotcha.
Owens.
Yes.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so while today's track and field runners can be better than him,
Mhm.
they will never be greater than him,
Mm.
because his greatness set the standard and it changed the world.
Yes.
So even though they will have better times, they will never have the same impact.
Well, they got better drugs now.
Oh my God.
King, you hate on anything that's current, man. I'm checking you out.
Listen,
Man.
you know what it is? It's the fact that they got better drugs now. I'm just not gonna lie. It's a fact.
Shout out to the steroid era. Continue educating us, Lord.
Well, my point to that is there are plenty of games that are out right now that are better than some of the games that I'm about to list,
Yes.
but they will never be greater than those, because those games changed the world and the industry itself.
Yes. That's what Addict needs to hear. Continue.
Why y'all on Addict, man?
We just love messing with the young move. It's fun.
I'm in charge of the next guest. I'm making sure that dude's at least 25. Next week, you guys are mine.
You know what's funny?
I love Addy. That's my bro.
You'll be in charge of the next guest, and this guest is actually giving you more props than any guest that we've ever had.
Yes.
So I think that you picked that 25-year-old. That 25-year-old gonna roll with the king, and it's gonna hurt your feelings.
Continue. We gotta get to the history, man. Come on, continue, Lord. Continue.
So my 5 greatest franchises.
5 greatest franchises. Iconic.
Right. So number 5 will be I'm just gonna go ahead and say EA Sports.
Woo!
I really mean like that first Madden, like Madden 92, that first NBA Live, or really that Larry Bird versus
Larry versus Jordan versus Bird?
Yeah, Jordan versus Bird.
Yeah.
No, it was like Magic versus Bird in the NBA playoff.
Oh, you talking about Lakers versus Celtics?
Yeah.
With the yellow tab on the cartridge.
Now you're talking about sports too.
Like, I'm going back to play what I was playing. Like,
let's go. That EASN era.
The EA cartridge with the yellow tab. Tell them about it.
EA Sports, that whole thing, I think, because they basically, especially from my hood, So I had a background that was, say, more street.
No doubt. We know the history, OG. We know.
And then like a lot of things that I did in my day life didn't match the things in my nightlife. So it was this little weird mix. But that whole EA Sports sort of made all of this other stuff not look so nerdy anymore. It's like, man, what's that? And so EA Sports definitely, I think, would be number 5.
Yes.
Number 4, I would probably have to give it to, I'm gonna go ahead and say Street Fighter, but when I say Street Fighter, I mean just that whole category of fighting games in the arcade 2-player competition.
Like you all over the world.
Like the Mortal Kombat, like that whole thing, Killer Instinct, that whole thing that was started because of that.
Yes, sir. Street Fighter is that's the genesis.
Then number 3 would probably have to be Ocarina.
Everybody got a Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda's always on everyone's list. Yes.
Yeah. Number 2, and I kind of want to put this one at number 1, but I can't. But number 2 would probably be The Last of Us.
Woo! Wow.
Because it did so much as well. But the number 1, and it's really because of how it changed gaming completely. Like gaming. So do y'all remember that show called Lost that used to come on?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So I was talking to a couple of guys that was way younger than me, and we were talking about Lost, and they were going to watch it on Netflix. And I was trying to let them know that the thing about you watching Lost and me watching Lost when it first came out is that you will not have the perspective of being able to see the world before it and seeing the world after it. So you will not be able to appreciate how it changed the world because you already living in a world that benefited from everything that Lost series did with TV and movies and media. And so the same thing is true with this next game that I'm about to say. The number 1, the greatest game, in my opinion, that changed the world had to be Super Mario 64.
Yep.
Because it is the one that showed you how to take everything that we used to do in 2D and how to do all of that in 3D and still make it as fun and accessible as it was in 2D. And once they showed that blueprint to all the developers, everybody took off.
I used to speedrun that game with my friends who could beat it quicker.
That changed the game, Cole. Like you're killing it right now. People don't realize how impactful that was because you just nailed it. Like it was the transition to the 3D space, and it was shown that it can be done. And I just remember the sensitivity of the analog on the 64 controller and rotating Mario in a 360-degree space.
Yeah.
And then remember, you would lightly touch it. He would kind of go slower.
The
precision.
And
that's excellent.
And you want to get technical. The games that are that were made from Nintendo from that game, like Mario Galaxy. Almost every game that they what's the word I'm looking for? It's been like pretty much its like successor have all scored above a 9 on Metacritic.
Yeah, that's the blueprint. I got to give Code that. He nailed it, man. Wow, that's an intense lit. I'm just happy you got said it there.
But Odyssey.
But Odyssey. No doubt, man. Fantastic history, Lord Code. Wow, man. We can keep talking for hours. Like you got it locked, man. We got to get into the show. But I want to talk about last week's poll. The results are in. People have spoken to the question with the recently confirmed Xbox All Access financing plan, including the console, Xbox Live, and Game Pass, announced by Microsoft. Do you think this can negatively affect gamers? The winner at 51% in a fairly convincing three-way ILP poll is the no. This is a consumer-friendly option group. Coming in at second at 25% with the shallows, with I don't care where my exclusive games at. And coming in at a razor close third place, but 24% of the vote was the yes, this targets young gamers and creates debt group. Shout out to all the lords who participated in the poll. Lord Cole, what do you think about Xbox All Access?
Oh, I'll go first, man. Let the panel go first. I've been talking for a long time.
No doubt. What does anyone on the panel think about Xbox All Access? You think the Lord's got it right?
Apparently, it's already starting to be beneficial. So,
yep.
Okay. No doubt, no doubt. All right, man. So we got that. We got a new poll cooking up on the ILP Twitter. Stay tuned for the end of the show. Let's get into these topics. We got a lot to talk about. So I want to shout out actually a Tech Affiliate Brat podcast, and of course I want to shout out WCC Tech. Actually for this breaking news we're about to get into. So Red Dead Redemption is in the news, and this came to my attention recently. Apparently, there was a 2018. There was the GME conference. For those who don't know, the GME, it's kind of like GameStop's little conference where the GameStop crew goes out there. So one of the publishers, they went out there and they got a chance to the publisher for Red Dead, they went out there, they had a demo. Obviously we've seen the kind of like 5 to 6 minute demo of Red Dead Redemption. The trailer was well received, but apparently these guys at this GameStop convention, they got a 20-minute demo. So basically one of the users out there, pretty much one of them said, very positive, rest assured this will be the greatest game ever made. However, there was a lot of mixed reviews at this, the showing. So I'm going to give you some comments that was said from the people who were in attendance. All right. One of the users, extended gameplay of what's already been shown, almost put me to sleep. Game looks good, but they chose to show the first 20 minutes was very boring and not what you want to show people to get hyped about your game. Another user, you might as well have put lullaby music into that trailer to accompany the narration. I fell asleep a few times during the demo. I was hoping he could shoot the horse in the nuts at some point.
I always thought it was kind of like ridiculous when people say I fall asleep playing the game or something.
Like, I do that to God of War all the time.
Oh, well, they weren't. I don't know. I'm assuming they were watching this demo as opposed to playing it. One other user, this looked like Rockstar Equestrian Simulator 2K19. Also, the guy talking was boring as bleep. It was very anticlimactic. Oh, I have a big surprise for you. And then a Red Dead splash screen commenced. I commenced yawning. He said once stuff started happening, it was a little better, but the presentation did nothing for me. Another guy said, beautiful game, but mostly what I saw was a horse riding simulator. You know what I'm saying? People, I fell asleep, and my ass was hurting all through the sitting. So yeah, like this is a lot of people, and I can go on with that. And then obviously it wasn't all the people. Some people said, look, that you got to take it into context. It was like a long day. This was the last demo of the day, and maybe some people were fatigued. And maybe it wasn't the best demo to show. But some people said, hey, it looked good. There was a shootout after a bank heist. He saw 15 minutes of some meandering, some Rockstar playing, but he said the shootout looked different. The bank heist was paced, just slowly paced, but it sold the demo, and he was sold. So based on this information and what we've heard, I want to start off with Lord Sav, because
I knew that was coming.
he is the resident. Let's be real. The rest of the Lords of Red Dead Redemption frauds here, and he is the true Red Dead Redemption guy, Lord on the panel. So, Lord Sir, with these reports coming out, does this concern you in any way?
Not in the least. Not even a little bit. Listen, the thing about Red Dead, what they've talked about, what they want to do.
Rockstar gonna tell Sovereign to drink that Kool-Aid. He's like, fine, that's fine.
Exactly. But look, it's an open.
They're gonna have
world game.
iodine in that stuff, man.
It's an open world game that's attempting to do interaction and immersion like no other game before it. Like there's gonna be boring stuff. Look at Shenmue, right? We just got Shenmue back, right? And what you remember about Shenmue is that the day-to-day stuff that you do that we thought is cool, which is cool, the fact that you can do menial tasks, that stuff is boring. Like it's hard to gamify that stuff. So yeah, do I agree that it was probably not the best idea to give them a demo of how the horses, nuts sway left and right and like whatever? No, yeah, it was probably not the best thing to do. That said, that isn't something that they're forcing you to interact with in that game.
But I feel like that game like an actual
final
GTA though.
But GTA is different. See, the thing about Red Dead, as opposed to GTA's open world is more over the top. It's always been. Red Dead is more grounded. Regardless of if you like Western stuff or not, the world is more grounded. It's not GTA. GTA is very overtly action oriented, where this is one of those, like some of my best moments in Red Dead Redemption, and this is not everybody, right? Some people like to play games like action games. For me, some of my favorite moments in Red Dead were just chilling out in the desert, like looking at the sunset and being like, wow, they did this. Like that for me, that was like, wow, I can't believe they're doing this in the game. And the same goes for this. They're just trying to expand upon it. It's not for everybody. So yeah, you need to show a demo that's going to show the gamified aspects of the game that people are going to get excited about. Not everybody's going to get excited about how the horse moves or how realistic the horse looks.
You know what you sound like right now, Sovereign. You know what you sound like?
Campfire eating beans.
Yeah,
you know what you sound like right now, Sovereign. You sound like these people defending Spider-Man right now.
Don't try to throw it on Spider-Man because it's about to win. Shut up. Go ahead.
And I think it speaks volumes. Look, and I don't want to make generalizations about Gamestop employees.
Shots fired! Someone got the ball ready.
Gamestop employees. They're not what I would.
The source is
and I'm making generalizations here. I realize that.
Don't call his name because he gonna
out of curiosity, where was this like a meeting or was
this
it like
the GME conference? So basically,
when it comes to the GMs, I've never met a GM that wasn't informed.
No, it's not a GM. It's just like GameStop employees, right? They have privy access to this conference that's kind of like their mini, I guess you want to say like an E3 where they get to see a lot of the games behind the scenes.
I know.
Remember, they got to advertise and promote these games as well.
Yeah, I know where Sovereign's going with this because you go into GameStop and there's a lot of them that don't even know what they're talking about. Not even remotely. But when it comes to these conferences, the people that go to these conferences that work at GameStop, they're informed. Right.
Those tend to be the higher level, the managers of a store, right? Those type of guys tend to be there. You know what I'm saying? But I understand Solve's thing. I'll let you finish.
I get that. They're probably they're better informed gamers. But at the same time, I think they're so far ingrained in that GameStop sort of. They're drinking the GameStop juice so much that it doesn't. I don't know. It just feels like, again, like if you look at the negative comments about this stuff, is that they showed a boring aspect of the game.
Right.
That they wanted to see gameplay. Listen, if I'm getting shown a demo of a game that's only been shown once, I want to see action. Like I would have felt the same way. But much like it's an aspect of the game that you don't have to interact with. If you don't care to
at the end of the day, it's not like GameStop demanded that one. They were sent that by Take-Two. So like that's Take-Two's fault.
Right.
Well, absolutely. I do not think it was a great. Don't do that. Like put out a video like they did with
some Xbox promotion right now.
Exactly. Like that doesn't make any sense that they would do that. Show the action part. Show what people want to see. That's not something that everybody's going to be attracted to. It's just not.
Well, so for me personally, like I mentioned with the Real Gamer Protocol, I don't care what anybody says, especially a set of people that just seen a 20-minute demo. It's like you didn't play it, you just watched it, and you have the right to your opinion, but there's nothing that they can say based on watching a 20-minute demo that will make me lose or gain interest in the game.
Look, at the end of the day, Sovereign and his code of Red Dead followers, they're going to buy this game if this game comes out it's only 20 minutes long of a cutscene. They're still buying this game. So
You're damn right.
No doubt, no doubt. So, Attic, does this influence you in any way? Because I don't know you to be a Red Dead guy, but I just want to know, based on this, does this influence you any direction?
Red Dead being compared to Red Dead 2, it's going to be a good game. But people are trying to compare this to GTA 5 like he's going to do better.
That's not.
And I'm just like, look, like GTA 5 is phenomenal. It's probably never going to happen again.
It may be a better game in terms of the tech and what they're trying to do in the world. It may be a more immersive game. I don't think it has.
I think it's going to be a more immersive. I think it's going to be a lot more immersive.
Boss said Red Dead trailer was so boring. People out here talk about the horse nut physics in the game. Shout out to Boss coming for his funny title in the chat.
But at the end of the day, I think Red Dead's still going to be good. I think it's I still think, I don't know, when it comes to like game of the year, like if this would have came out in a different year, I feel like it would have been like automatic game of the year. But I feel like when you have games like, you know, God of War out, I don't know if it's going to be able to take it from that. That's like the only game, because Red Dead's going to get a lot of clout just because it's Red Dead.
No, I hear what you're saying. I want to shout out Lord Innate. I am seeing the chat, Lord Innate. I'll just letting people speak. Yeah, he said real talk. You know, he was a GameStop. He worked at GameStop for a month. He said the store manager wasn't even a gamer.
Yeah.
He said we used to get people coming back mad about his suggestions because he didn't know anything. Shout out to you. I did see your comment, man. I've heard that.
I'm sure there is a lot of cases where, you know, they do exporting and hire people from outside the company because it's easier to run a store. You don't necessarily need to know anything. I'm sure the people that run grocery stores have no clue what.
Thank you.
Anything about that.
Yeah, that's how I feel with GameStop. I don't go in there looking for pertinent information on the next video game.
All I know is, like, you know, been to a lot of GameStops, and for the most part, like, when it comes to the management, a lot of them are more informed about games than anyone else in that GameStop. Like, sure, they got certain employees, they especially around the, you know, the seasonal hiring. Almost none of them people know what they talk about.
Oh, that's a good point. Shout out to Kai Matsu for letting me know about that too. Like, yeah, the seasonal hiring, that for that rush, you sometimes it's some questionable characters telling you what to get and stuff during that time. So yeah, I hear what you said. I want all GameStop employees under the bus.
Yeah, it is what it is. If anything, that's not GameStop's fault. That's Take-Two for giving a bad example of their game. I mean, this is the first time people got hands-on of their game. There's no excuse for that. This is Rockstar we're talking about, and Take-Two. You mean to tell me they didn't think that was a good idea?
Yeah, I just think, you know, at the same time, I say this. Look, these guys have been working on this game for like 10 years, damn near 10 years. Like, you know what? Let them show off what they want to show off. I have to say, let them be proud of whatever aspect of the game they're super proud of. Like, again, maybe not the right audience for it. Maybe you'd rather have like game journalists in there and show them that sort of stuff, and they react differently to it.
I prefer no game journalists either.
Wow. Daddy, that's kind of crazy, Cat Daddy. I'm not gonna say it here, but that's kind of crazy.
What I can't go in there, but
you got to see what he said last. I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm not repeating that. Oh yeah, Jeff Clutch. This is Blueberry. All right, it's a Blueberry mix. Yeah.
Shout out to Dino in the chat too. ILP clan. So yeah, man, King, man, I need you to go on this, man, before we move on.
Well, I let me see. Just all right, for the same reasons that they said that they didn't like the demo. All right, and remember again, this is a demo. Yes. So they wanted to show you the blades of grass swaying. I'm pretty sure they wanted to show you the fire physics. They wanted to show you the AI interacting like
horseback riding simulator.
Yeah, listen, I understand that whole thing, but the main objective to the game, most of the times from traveling point to point A to point B, you're going to be on a horse. You know, so of course you want the horse physics to look right. Didn't we play Last Guardian or whatever that game was? What was that you was on a horse for the PlayStation? And didn't y'all say that
Shadow of the Colossus?
Shadow of the Colossus. Same little stupid.
You mean the horse that's on rails?
Right, but if you went from the first time that they did the horse to the remake, everybody was talking about the hair physics, how he moved, how he swayed from left to right. These guys, from what I've seen, and this is the first time that I've seen this, actually put scrotums for a horse in the game. Okay, so I don't know how many games that did that. and this is giving you a telling sign of the game. If you went down to that minute detail to show that, this game is going to be phenomenal, because they're going to tell you that every part of the game is going to get that same attention of detail. So if you want that type of game, if that game is calling to you, you can go no further. It is going to be the greatest game for you. For me, it's not for me.
Okay.
But like, I want to speak real quick to what King just said, because
Go for it.
at a higher level of abstraction. So for me, it's the pedigree that Rockstar has. Like, they automatically get an instant pass from me. Like, okay, they've done too much right for me to think that they just gonna mess up on something that's epic. And then the next thing that is really attracting me to the title is because of their gaming pedigree, and this is their first true next gen title. I don't see them messing that up at all. Like, GTA was previous generation.
Look,
this is the actual first next gen title from Rockstar.
Look, at the end of the day, there's more Red Dead cult members out there than there is certain populations in the countries.
Oh my God.
They're still going to sell well. This isn't going to affect the overall. You know, it might adjust sales by like a couple.
But what Code is saying, is true. A Rockstar release is an event, and it's an event because they make it that way. They make it that way because they make sure they're not like, and Anchor's gonna kill me. They're not like Bethesda. They're not Bethesda that goes into a hole and comes back out, 6 years later with a game that's just similar to the last one. Hey, I love Fallout 4, but it wasn't.
Fallout 4 is trash.
Yeah,
the disrespect, dude.
Oh, we'll get into that with the Cyberpunk topic, but they come out and they're pushing the tech forward. They're pushing AI forward. They're pushing interactivity in the world forward. You're gonna see things that you haven't really seen before. At least they're gonna attempt it, regardless of whether they fail or not.
Right.
And that's what's exciting for me about any Rockstar release, any Rockstar release. So. Listen, it may not be for everybody. It's for me.
I feel you, so I'll ride with it. I'll finish this thing off. Yeah, man. Listen, I mean, when I first heard, I'm not gonna front. I was die laughing. I hit Attic last night. I was like, yo, what's going on out here? Like, and I ain't gonna front. Part of this was funny. I know this is Sam's heart. So
I had to redo a whole thumbnail for this.
Yes, he did. I thought it was. I hit up Code late last night too. I said, look, this is a last minute edition, man. We got to add this one. We got to talk about it at the round table. But look, in context, it's an extended version of that 6-minute thing. It's one mission. I'm not gonna go crazy. I thought it was funny, you know what I'm saying? But also to give context, also for the people who were there were many positive people. So it wasn't like all bad. Like, there were people that said, "Look, man, I thought it was a game of the year game of the year contender." There were people who said, that listen, this is the people who are speaking negative are the vocal minority. This is a guy that was there. He says the murmurs and talk of how amazing it looks far outweigh the few people who are voicing negative opinions. They showed off graphics, a robbery. They said it looks gorgeous. The physics were amazing. They said it's easily going to compete with God of War. And he said, I also see Spider-Man, to King's happiness, making the list as well. And I would shout out to Black Static for me. I believe he was on Reddit that actually said that. So listen, at the end of the day, if you love Red Dead, you're going to continue to love Red Dead. I agree with Lord Code. Their pedigree is enough to say, listen, I ain't going to get too crazy about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's wait for final release. Let's wait as things get closer, more information comes out. But that's all I have on this topic. We're going to move on. Lord Saw, Cyberpunk business. What's going on?
Yeah, so this past week we finally got the gameplay reveal that everybody had seen, that some people had seen at E3 and at Gamescom. Everybody got to finally see it. I just want to know what you guys thought about it. Were you overwhelmed, underwhelmed? Was it exactly what you expected? And beyond that, if you thought it was next level, if it was something really special, do you think that other Western RPG developers have something to worry about with them? Does Bethesda have to look at what they're doing and be like, we got to step up our game? Does Obsidian need to step up their game? Does EA and BioWare need to step up their game? And what do they need to do?
No doubt.
Okay.
All right. So Lord Attic, you want to jump in?
Yeah. I'll be the first to say I wasn't on the Cyberpunk stuff. They made one game and people acting like they the God's gift to game. But But after that gameplay, man, I'm officially on the hype train.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm for Team 77 right now, so it is what it is, man. Like they took. First off, I'm a huge fan of DXX, and that is like how the game should have been.
Yeah.
You saw, obviously the game's not gonna look like that on launch with consoles. That's probably more of a PC build, but I guarantee we won't get much less. But from what they were doing, they were having to where you could capture people and like splice into their network and deactivate everything. If you like, that's what I'm about. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm a stealth person. It seems like that game is like they're going to like. I always felt like stealth games that try to make two approaches. You can do stealth, or you can do just straight up going in there with guns blazing. I always felt like most of them always had the guns blazing higher than the stealth. It's just encourage you to be stealthy.
Yes,
but this game feels like they have both on both sides equal. Like you can either take which one, and you won't be affected by either.
All right, and I want to ask this because Cat Daddy, he actually stealing my point that I was going to mention when it got to me, but I'm going to mention it to y'all. He basically said, because there's a lot, I've never played the first one, so I wanted to, a lot of people are mad from what I understand that it's doing first person. So, shout out to Cat. He was like, look, yeah, motion sickness, he's going to be disappointed. Like, for you guys that have played it, the original, like, does this transition to third person? I mean, it's a first person bother you guys?
There's no original. This is the first one. Cyberpunk, the first Cyberpunk was actually a pen and paper.
They're talking about The Witcher.
Tabletop RPG.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the comparison was The Witcher, right?
Yeah.
So The Witcher, I guess a lot of people expected this game to be third person since The Witcher was third person.
Right.
Their reasoning for doing it first person is they wanted to create a higher level of immersion by having you see through the eyes of the protagonist. So I understand that, and I think it's true in that respect. They want you to feel like you're ingrained in this world differently than with The Witcher, because with The Witcher, you're Geralt, right? So you're living through Geralt. It's Geralt's story. Here, you are creating your character. You are creating your character. There is certain archetypes, but it is you. So I understand that first person perspective. In terms of I know Cat Daddy mentioned like motion sickness. I know they have motion blur things in effect where it kind of limits that for people. I hope they do something to kind of stave that off. But
or he can take a pill and just play the game.
I'm sorry, I have to agree with King. Once the people that didn't like first person that played The Witcher, third person that played The Witcher. If you don't want to play this game because it's first person, guess what, Cat Daddy? Don't play it.
No, he's talking about actual motion sickness.
I see a lot of people that don't want to play this game because it's first person. Like, I get it. This whole generation, third person has dominated. Right. But maybe we need that push that someone like a competent developer, like this Project Red, making a first person to push the whole genre forward.
Pill popping here.
Yo, you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but like they actually, it's an interesting subject because they spoke to the CD Projekt Red about this, and they said they are aware that many fans, they're not fans of it being in the first person perspective, but he stood on his square, and he was just like, he feels it's a small number of people, obviously we can't play it for a variety of reasons, but he's doubling down and saying that, look, man, they're going to continue to leave it this way. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to change. Yeah. So literally they just had that conversation. I'll jump in, man. Like I got a chance to finally, it's 48 minute demo. Looked amazing. This thing, regardless, like whatever this thing turns out to be, this is built for me. You got sci-fi, you got cybernetics, the future.
But is it on the Switch?
Switch will blow up trying to do it. So the thing that got me, Lord Code, and the thing that got me, Lord Sav, is the cities. Just that density, right? Because you had all the people. Like, to me, you know what it is, King? It felt like, from the way they did the city, felt like the evolution of Shenmue. Like, they had people crossing the street. It was
not all of that y'all are talking about. It's Deus Ex mixed with
GTA.
Fallout.
GTA.
So with GTA World, it's a mashup. Just like Optimus Cole said, there's games that came before that left the blueprint, right? But I'm pretty sure all these people that's tripping all over this, they losing their mind. They probably didn't play Fallout. They probably didn't play Deus Ex, which is a phenomenal game.
Right.
And I mean, go and play those games.
A lot of people didn't even buy Deus Ex because it's so really bad.
And that game is already in the store. It's already there. I'm not gonna do 2 hours. To hell with that. I'm not doing that. But I sat there and I watched probably 15, 20 minutes of it, got a gist of it, and I'm gonna buy the game.
Yeah.
Because
you're gonna beat the game. That's the question.
You know what's crazy? The crazy part about it is from a day-to-day basis, and I love the fact that you're concerned with what I beat.
Look how easy I could derail you off the topic.
And I'm gonna look at you and stay paused. But at the same time, if I beat it, I'll send you a memo. If I don't, I'll send you a memo. But
as long as I get the memo, that's fine.
Just make sure that you're able to get the game to play the game.
I'll have the game.
Shout out to Funky Punch. He said, "Yeah, I'm definitely gonna rock." Shout out to DJ Singh. He said, "Oh my God, referencing Shenmue again, bushes." Like, listen, you gonna put some respect on Shenmue name, Singh.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. I'll give you permission.
Y'all gonna put some respect, because if it wasn't for Shenmue, y'all wouldn't be seeing all of this level of city interactivity. And
that's cool. It should have stayed in the past where the bushes.
Well, you wouldn't have it if it wasn't no past.
He still put it in the past with the bushes.
It used to be in the past bushes. It didn't need to come in the future.
That's the problem with young folks. I don't do the history, but like I would say, I'm very excited about it, man. This thing, it really looks to me. King, I hear you. I'm not saying it's doing something never been done before. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's certain games that come along, and Breath of the Wild is one of them, where I consider it a marriage of all these great systems. You know what I'm saying? From other games that just make this game really dope. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes all it takes is a company doing features that another company did correctly.
And correctly and polished. And the thing is, it's elevated. It's a multitude of things. There's no loading. And the thing that got me is, and we're going to get into that in the next topic when I talk about Anthem, is they got the dialogue choices that affect how the game goes. Like
for instance, the one thing,
that's my wave. You know what I mean? So I'm in. Continue at it.
The one thing I want to point out is, a lot of these first person, besides Deus Ex, like the main character doesn't have a voice.
Right.
And like this shit, obviously I saw the chick version. Yeah. Like it made it seem like they put a lot of time in dialogue. And if you can make the worst game average if it has a good dialogue.
Yeah.
And when it comes to The Witcher, if you look at The Witcher and its entity, like it didn't do a whole lot of things new, but it did it correctly.
Yes.
Hold on. 2 comments in the chat. I gotta get that real quick. Jonathan B, stop it. Shenmue and Rise influence every game ever. You gotta stop.
No, man. Rise influence Shenmue. Facts.
Number 2, shout out to Santo, but this is what I'm saying. He said it's doing something top tier in every way possible. That in it of itself makes it something that's never been.
It's a level of polish. It's a level of polish in that type of game. They're going for a level of polish that you rarely see in the game.
I do want to.
For me, what makes it most exciting, because when I first, you heard all the stuff coming out of E3, people were like, "Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I ever saw." Right. And when I saw it, when I actually saw it running, I was a little underwhelmed, because I looked at it, I'm like, graphically, it's a game. I'm like, it's a game. It's not this God bot. It's a game.
Yes. Not to cut you 1 second, so that's why I said, King, please. I was with you, King. I watched the first 15 minutes. And I was like, I don't know why everybody going all crazy. I'm like,
I seen all of that.
Watch the full 48.
Right. No, I'm not doing that. You're not getting that.
See, that's what I mean.
Yo, that's the part. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and fraud and tell you I did and I did. I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. But what is going to happen, I'm going to play the game. I saw enough of the game to justify people's excitement. Like, oh my God, this is it. And they're going to take every criticism from those other games that I talked about, Deus Ex and Fallout, and they're going to sharpen the steel. They're going to polish it. They're going to get it nice, and they're going to push it out the door for you. So yes, you're going to, because of those games that came before it, they're going to give you a top tier game. What I'm trying to say is Take your behind. Don't wait for the game to come out in 20 whatever the hell. Go out and buy those other games, which is probably on sale right now, and get a feel of these games so you know exactly what you're going to be playing in the
where
future.
it comes from. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
and I think the most important thing for this game and where it's next level, where it's attempting to be next level, is in that world immersion and that AI. I think when you talk about Cyberpunk, you talk about being like linked
I
into
can't really
everything,
comment
like,
on the world immersion because like we haven't seen enough to really
we
comment
haven't
on
seen,
that.
but that's what they're going for. Like that's
Right.
what that's the thing that they're going for. The creator, you want to create a world that feels like it's lived in, right? And to do that, like, especially with a topic like Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk is so reliant on like future tech, androids being jacked into everything.
I love that.
If you create a world where all those rules actually apply to the gameplay, that's crazy.
The doctor scene in the chair when she went with the upgrade. Oh,
Also,
man.
I gotta say this, right? They didn't show a boring, whack, a horse nut trailer, right? So we can't say, oh, we upset they didn't show more immersion of the horse nuts in the world.
I just got one
and
serious question
straight
for you,
action. You know, they show straight action.
for you.
Go ahead, man.
Just it's a serious question.
Here
When's
we
that
go.
Switch version getting announced? So it
Why are we badgering the Switch? That got nothing to do with this.
Yo, the Switch is gonna put out Mario Cyberpunk 2020, whatever, and you gonna have to play that one.
Shout out to Jonathan B. He said the Switch couldn't even run the menus.
That's what I was gonna say. At the loading screen, it would blow up.
So then we gotta get codes outlook on it.
into this. Yeah, we gotta get code into this.
Code. What did you get it?
Let's
Code.
go.
Did you get a chance to see the Cyberpunk demo?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I
And
was
what'd you think?
actually at work watching it. I mean, I'm impressed with the amount of technical prowess that I've seen in the game, all the different subsystems that they have interacting together. I am very impressed with the game. Not to mention graphically, I like the theme, the sci-fi theme. And like everybody said,
I was impressed.
Deus Ex was like phenomenal, and it's a shame that people don't really understand how dope that game is. But yeah, I do think that this is taking it to the next level. Absolutely, I'm very excited about it.
What
No
the
doubt.
game looked like, but I was more impressed with the gameplay mechanics.
Yo, Optimus, I want to ask you a question because being that you're a coder and you just said it, you saw all the subsystems. You get excited from different perspective opposed to us. Like we get excited from graphics. Oh, what? He threw an axe and it came back. We get excited off of that. You get excited off of seeing all the interaction and the level of code and how hard it must have been to bring that game to fruition. So this is what I'm saying. Like when you saw that game, because everybody was talking about it was doing all this crazy stuff, but from your eyes, from your initial take, and you saw the different subsystems and stuff like that. What did you feel from it from a technical standpoint?
Oh, I felt like they were top notch. Like this is a lot of subsystems working together and working together extremely well. Like the potential for bugs and things to go wrong with all of the things that they had working together, like jacking into people, disabling their comms and taking over this thing, and like we can go through here, and just like all of that could go horribly wrong if they do it poorly. But they did a really good job, and I've just seen all the technical excellence in addition to the graphical display, because I thought the graphics was top notch too, but just all of the code that has to be working. And I literally thought, I wonder how many million lines of code do they have to make this work?
Absolutely. Shout out
That's
to
what I'm talking about.
Frogs. You gotta relax for Planet X. 4K.
Just real quick. I think everybody, Western developers, RPG developers, got to be on notice, man.
Shout
like,
out, baby.
like
Yeah.
not Fallout 76 because that's a different thing, but the next Fallout and the next Elder Scrolls, and these guys are playing in their ballpark now, right? Because regardless of the perspective shift, like first person. Creating a game in first person is very different to doing it in third person. Like if you look at the third person, option in Fallout, it was not the guys. He walks around like a stick figure. It's not really meant for that. You know what I mean? So it's interesting that these guys are playing in somebody else's backyard And it's going to be interesting to see how they elevate that, and if these guys need to look at this and change up what they're doing. And I know that goes into like the Battlefield 5 and the Anthem.
It goes right into my topic, right? Yeah. And I'm glad you said that. Well, we finish off, and then I'll go.
Everybody else needs to be on notice because these guys are going for the GOAT title. They really are.
CD Projekt.
I don't think they'll get the GOAT title. Like, I think it's going to be a phenomenal game, but I don't think it's going to be like that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We got time. Apparently,
I don't think it's going to. I'll put it this way: I don't think it's going to surpass Witcher 3.
Wow,
that's a good
Not
one.
even close.
Wow.
Not even
Well,
close.
you know what's crazy about that statement though? It's the same people, right? So, that just shows how the excellence that's coming from CD Projekt Red. Shout out to Sam Tover. Those are his guys.
I think it's going to be a solid 8-5-9 game, but I don't think it's going to surpass Witcher because Witcher. It was third person, and that appeals to more people in the long run. If you get someone,
this question: would it surpass Witcher 1 or 2? You know, because they actually built a following all the way up to get you to 3.
Yeah,
So
like they built up to 3. They built up to 3.
That's what I'm talking about. This is a jumping off point. And you're comparing a jumping off point to an established, beloved character.
Because Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 was not the wave like Witcher 3.
Regardless what a developer works on, I think you should always compare their last work to their new work because you can't really compare Witcher 1 because it came out like 15 years ago.
They've been going up every time. Every time they've been going up. So if this is any indication of their excellence, they're showing it right now.
I think it's fair to say something like that, comparing it like on the same level because this is something new for them. They've never made a first-person game, I don't think. Right. So, but it looks like they're doing it better than the people who make first-person games.
And that's the thing. That's the thing to me that first-person games appeal to a lot of people. Like people buy Call of Duty every single year. Like if they can give you a game like you said at the beginning, Addict. That balances all that stuff and does it all right. Like you can do the stealth, you can do the shooting, you can do all the other RPG stuff, and you could do it as well as anybody else has ever done it before. I don't see how that doesn't surpass The Witcher.
I feel like first person is really popular, but it's because of a multiplayer aspect. I don't feel like it's a single player aspect. There are games that's the exception,
right?
But this isn't Bethesda, and for the most part. They've always dominated that RPG first-person field view. But if you look at Bethesda's games, they give you a third-person option too, so you can't really go into that.
Cat Daddy, we do shift to 11 a.m. when football season starts.
That's next week.
We already have the intro and everything popping. Everybody will have all that information coming up this week. So we are making we're making a shift. And then listen. That's when you're gonna catch Addict with the baggy eyes and need the 5-hour energy because he just got used to this time. So
I know, man. I'm like only a month used to this, and now you guys want to change it all?
Yeah, there we go. Let's go. Let's get it. It's almost 3 o'clock.
Let's compromise. How about I show up at 12?
No. You do that. How about you do that?
Moving along, great Cyberpunk topic, and a perfect transition started to mine because it was dialogue choice was something that was very big to me in Cyberpunk. But let's talk about EA real quick, and it's a lot of interesting things going on right now. Obviously, we've heard about the Battlefield 5 delay. It's going out of October into November. And, as a result, there's also been, a big, drop, but a 10% stock drop on EA. So this is going to be a 2-part thing. So the first part is going to be about Battlefield 5. Was that right decision, EA? And then the second part is this one is near and dear to me. And it's going to be a little rant from LordCognito. So pretty much Anthem obviously is the most, anticipated thing from from EA coming up next year. It's a big title. We got our boys BioWare, Casey Hudson, the crew. And some news just came out. And pretty much, I believe one of the executive producers, Mark Dara, he put out that it was found out that BioWare games have, Mass Effect. If you guys play Dragon Age, all that stuff, these are multi-dialogue choice games that affect the gameplay. So similar to what Cyberpunk is setting out to do, right? That's what BioWare is known for. So pretty much it was just found out that in their systems in Anthem, they're only going to allow for 2 dialogue options. So they asked him about this, and he said, Mark Darrell said, we're showing this to an audience that is not used to these kinds of decisions and conversations. We wanted to keep it simpler, but we also didn't want to present you with false choices. So Fort Tarsus is going to be this area. It's like a single player area where that's going to happen on y'all laughing.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. You said they pulling a Destiny right now, right? Like, we wanted to build as many people as possible.
Oh my God, you on it, Addy. You on it. You know where my heart is when I heard these statements. So, Fort Tarsus apparently is this, area where you're going to be in the first person, perspective as opposed to the third person perspective with the javelins and the shared world. So this is where that's going to happen, the single player thing. And he just, it's clearly not going to be just another BioWare RPG. So I want to bring this to the Lords. Part 1, Battlefield 5. Is that the right decision? Part 2, Anthem dialogue choices and quote unquote simplification of dialogue choices. So let's start with Lord Code. What do you think about both of these things?
Battlefield, I don't really have an opinion. I don't. Mm-hmm. So I look at a lot of I guess you would call it the gaming community, and especially a lot of the news from the crumb side, let's just say. Mm-hmm. And so let me see, how can I put this? So I'm not affiliated with Sony in any way.
Okay. I hear NDA talk coming.
I'm not affiliated with Microsoft in any way. I'm not affiliated with Nintendo in any way, zero form or fashion.
Okay.
But I do write software for billion-dollar organizations. And a lot of the code that I write, a lot of y'all probably use every day, but like our company, because we're consultants, so we don't put our name on it. People hire us to write software for them.
Facts.
So I write software for a lot of people, a lot of big name people. And I'm often have to meet with the clients. And one thing that I will say for sure when I look at this gaming community is none of you people could ever run a successful gaming business because the ideas that you have and like, this is what they should do and when, and this is a good idea, bad idea. All you looking at is like what you like and what your personal preferences are. None of those are valid for running a business.
That's real talk.
Billion-dollar business. So one thing I hate, having lived, let's say, a hard life or let's just say, a somewhat shady background, is I hate when I'm watching TV and it's some criminal or some heist going on, and somebody that I'm watching TV with try to say, all they have to do to get away is that. All they have to do is that.
You don't like the all you got to do, Lord? You don't like that, Lord?
They're like, you don't like criminal. Like, you don't know what you would do. You don't know what it takes to be a criminal. All your little suggestions are from you sitting there on the couch. Like, your opinion has no weight. Anyway, that being said,
backseat driving.
The gaming advice that these game players try to give these companies is like laughable. It's like, why would they ever listen to you? Other than the mind share that they want, for public perception. But as far as making business moves and business deals, like people laugh at Microsoft, say they losing this generation or whatever. Like, do you understand business and how it works? So I've been in meetings and I've been in with these clients and these organizations, and we would embarrass ourselves trying to give these people business advice. I'm saying all that to say this. If EA has determined that the release window for Battlefield needs to be something different than what it is, I guarantee you a lot of research has gone into that, and they have deemed it is in our best business interest to move this. And for no other reason. And I don't have access to that information, so I can't second guess it. If they have decided this is what they need to do, then yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what they need to do.
I have something to say.
You're up next.
At the end of the
day, we got to get the second part of Code. I apologize, but Attic, go in now as far as your response, and then I got to bring it back to Code.
I've always said from day one, you guys have always said, like, it's harder to run a company than it is to take opinions on a company. But at the end of the day, EA has been doing a lot of missteps here lately. Like,
right, that's correct.
They messed up Respawn's game because that game sold really, really bad. Even the director of Respawn, they mentioned the sales, and he's like, "Yeah, no help from EA." They dropped the ball with Battlefield because they had a developer come out openly and tell the consumers that are supposed to buy their game, if you don't like it, just don't buy it. Like,
right.
They called them. They called them. And what did he say? They said that, like, he didn't say that they were stupid, but
he said they're uninformed, like they're miseducated or something to that effect.
You never tell consumers that.
He was frustrated that day.
Frustrated, because of the backlash because of a female being on the cover of Battlefield 5.
And then you look at Bungie. Like, Bungie thought they had everything, all their I's dotted, all their T's crossed, and then the Destiny 2 dropped. And they're like, okay, maybe we should have listened to the community. Like, sometimes what see how it is they do all these stats. They say, okay, these are what people want, but the problem with how the industry works is it's constantly evolving. People forget that these games are made from 3 to 4 years at a time. The way that they made this game and their visions 3 years ago not necessarily is how the industry is going today.
I mean, that's all true. And this, we can probably have like a whole nother topic on this, but Addict, so what you said is certainly true and it has weight, but it's the difference between hindsight and foresight. It's easy to look back after something and say, this is what I should have done. And if organizations could do that, they absolutely would make every move perfect. But all they can do is look at what's available to them at the time. And just like in the NFL, I don't know if y'all outlawed NFL talk or not, but
no. That's well. The Lord's bending me to NFL because we will be changing our time to 11 a.m. next week.
All right. Well, there's a popular topic for coaches in the NFL that goes, if you're an NFL head coach, if you listen to the fans, you'll be sitting with them. Because
I'm not saying listen to the fans. That's
educate Addict. Educate them.
Addict is making some good points.
I said, like, I didn't say listen to the fans.
Listen,
I'm saying
Addict is his boy. He ain't gonna go too hard on Addict, but I will.
All I'm saying is sometimes what you think is best for the game isn't best for the game.
True, absolutely true. I agree.
They had to move that game anyway. People have been saying it for years.
And it goes to the hindsight. Like, sometimes common sense supersedes business sense, right? And in this instance, common sense. When you see what they did to Titanfall 2, right? It's obvious that once the landscape of October started panning, they saw they needed to move that game,
right? Because it was sandwiched between.
And that's just the examples of that. Look what they do with Mass Effect. I mean, EA these days have been dropping balls more than they've been picking them up. Like,
yeah, but see, the thing is, everybody keeps saying, I don't know why they put out this Battlefield at the same time every year around the same time with these same games. And they moved it. When Microsoft did it with Crackdown and they moved it, listen, they know I'm not gonna sell here.
Right.
Let me move my spot to over here so I can just get these off and let's sell this off over here.
But I feel like if they were about the sales, I feel like it would have been out of the year entirely. Like, there's still a week before Fallout 76. Look at November. November is not much.
Yeah, still Fallout. I was just about to say, Fallout 76 is there. It's real.
Well,
November's not much.
Let Cole get in because we keep interrupting Cole.
No, the conversation is great. And again, Attic, I understand what you're saying. Lord Saab, I understand what you're saying, but there's more that goes into it than that. Like, you can't just say I'm going to go into next year. Those are publicly traded companies. They have projections for a year. Right. They have shareholders they have to answer to, and they have to try to make things work to match their projections. And it's not as easy as just saying, okay, we'll just do it like 6 months from now. And again, so like Lord King, like, I don't know if you saw this or not, but when Floyd Mayweather was about to fight McGregor, and it was all this talk about Floyd, it's this guy right here, he earns a shot. If you're going to leave the game, if it's your last fight, why not give one of these thirsty young boxers a shot? Why not fight this cat, that cat? Like, why would you fight McGregor? And he looked at the camera and he said, because it makes the most business sense.
That's $500 million.
Yeah, and so that's what they face. That's what they use to make their decisions. Now, we're not saying that they don't get it wrong, because they certainly do. But given the information that they have, and they do listen to the community, I'm not saying 0%. It's just it is more than the voice of the community, and so they will get it wrong. But what they're trying to do is maximize profits, and whatever they think they can to do that is what they're going to do.
I think that's the reason it was
And
delayed.
What's the reason?
I think it was a PR stunt.
Reverb.
I can't hear Attic. Attic, say it one more time.
Can you hear me?
Nah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I think it was a PR stunt. I think they had so much bad publicity. They're trying to put a little distance between that.
But it's only a month. Why would it be a PR stunt?
Well, see, Al, if you look at they did the comparisons to Call of Duty, they're usually around the same ball game. Like the pre-orders are like 85% down than what they normally are. Like,
okay. So what does that got to do with a PR stunt?
Well, see, I think Red Dead is involved in there somewhere.
Man, there's too many good games coming out this year. I honestly would have told them ship it to next year. To be honest with you, that 85% down, that 85% down is because you already put your money down on pre-order. People have been pre-ordering games a year out now. This is so stupid.
Even if you look at it from next year's standpoint, like. It seems like next year, the first couple of months are really crazy too.
You can't really move next year either, because you got Anthem, you got Division, you got, well, I don't want to say it because chat gonna laugh, but Crackdown. Like, you got a bunch of things, all that Metro, I believe. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All that. So
you guys see that tweet that they're doing marketing for Crackdown right now?
You know what they should do? They should put it out in December on the 24th, just like that other.
I feel like games that come out in December. Like, am I the only one that feels like games that come out in December are like the redheaded stepchild?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
No one cares about, no one talks about.
But everybody spent their money by that time.
Yeah, but to Code's point, like, we have to admit, like, again, we don't know what's going on in these boardrooms. We don't know the financial ramifications of what's going on here. And, you know, for me personally, I applaud the move. I think it's a great move. I think they have to learn a little bit from the Titanfall 2 fiasco by sandwiching it between games, because that game was let, out to die. And it's a shame, because it's a fantastic game.
They cannibalized their own game with Battlefield.
Yeah, they did it to themselves. Exactly. So get away from that. You get between Red Dead and Call of Duty. You get out in November. Yeah, Fallout, it's Fallout. There's no doubt. It's a new genre, new thing for 76. But I think it's an okay move. You know what I'm saying? I want to get now to the second part.
Just let me say one thing. I think that move, makes a better release date than the original one, just because they're getting away from Call of Duty and Red Dead. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to drastically be different. Like,
we got to see. Right? So the second part is, I went back to LordCognito again, which was the whole Anthem thing, the dialogue choices being limited to 2. Them saying that their audience, they bringing it to a new audience that, in the sense, is kind of, they want to simplify, the whole choice thing. How do you feel about that? And where did you play a lot of the older, BioWare games, like a Mass Effect, like a Dragon's Age?
Oh, of course. The thing is that I think that they are damage controlling, but I don't think it's something that necessarily needs to be damage controlled, because for me, I don't know who their audience is or who their target demographic is, but for me, I'm only doing enough single player in Anthem to beef my dude up for the multiplayer when I'm running around with y'all. And so,
sound like Lord Sovereign the Fraud.
Right. That's it. Go through it once. That's it.
So there's an outcry of people that are like, hey, and I'm just gonna get into it, because let me just get my rant. My thing is, because this is me, I'm not gonna say outcry, this is me. My thing is, I feel a way about it, only from the standpoint is, this is what BioWare is known for. This is their MO. Like, when I got into Mass Effect, I fell in love with that game because of dialogue choice and how it affects relationships and character and, development, as well as the ending of a game. Like, the path of the game could change. So when I see stuff like Cyberpunk doing the formula that BioWare created, and BioWare not doing it in their own game, and just to Lord Addict's point, when I heard those comments, it bothered me, because they're saying new audience. And when I hear that, I think of Destiny 2 and the horrible launch that it had.
Casual.
Right. And it's like you're taking away from your own formula to now, quote unquote, broaden your audience. And I'm worried about that. And then we've already had the issue with, okay, there's not going to be any PvP on launch, right? Okay, fine. I'll let that rock. I seen the demo, you know what I'm saying? We all saw it at EA Play. It looked good. I'm not going to say it didn't. It looked really good. I'm excited. But I was curious, like, how does the story go? How does the interaction? And to now see it's like it's kind of like a single player separate area. And it doesn't, again, we don't know all the information. I don't know all the information. I could be very much wrong as more stuff comes forward. But for what we know right now with this Fort Tarsus thing, it just seems like an isolated separate thing that your character does. And it really doesn't feel to have any overarching effect on the game. And if that's the case, I'm going to have a problem with that. Like,
I would like to jump in here real quick.
Go for it.
I won't take but a few seconds.
No, please do.
So again, I think that they're right. So you're talking about we want to take all the single player mechanics and put it in a multiplayer, like in an MMO, and we want that to work seamlessly. But then just a few weeks ago, I heard y'all really complaining about Monster Hunter and how the online works, where if you haven't gone through this yet in single player,
no, that's King. That's King complaint, and I mean,
well, I also had the same complaint. I forgot my monster rank or hunter rank. I got pretty high in Monster Hunter before I threw it in the bushes. But it was this whole thing where I'm trying to power level people, and I'm playing with my grandson, and I'm teaching him how to play. But I gotta wait because he got to see this cutscene first. He has to do all these dialogue choices, and so for me, like, even though Monster Hunter was great and I really liked it, it demonstrated how when you try to merge too many things that aren't a natural fit, it can just be a big inconvenience. So for me, I'm looking at Anthem as a MMO, and a single player is just some little bonus thing that I may or may not get to.
Right.
But it seems like you're looking at it more as the single player RPG that you after, and it has somehow been lessened because you won't get that full experience.
No,
I feel like that's fair.
Let me rebut, and I got you at it. Here's the thing. You are correct. It is a different style of game, right? This is an MMO world share shooter. I understand that they may not be able. Somebody's reverbing, but I may understand that, like, they may not be able to seamlessly integrate a Mass Effect style story in that type of game. Okay, I get that, but for me, it hurts because. I guess because Casey Hudson is on it, when I heard his name associated, I'm like, okay, that's what he's known for, right? And then it's just like, oh man, like it's just frustrating to me.
Because it's fertilizer for his bushes.
No, because you know what it is, King? You know what it is? It's Andromeda. I got that dirty taste of Andromeda.
Listen, Cognito, I'm going to tell you.
Let me throw a dirtier wrench into this whole conversation. I don't know if you guys saw this headline on VG 24/7 that just came up. They said that future Mass Effect and Dragon Age games will be heavily influenced by Anthem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this is the part that I'm gonna get to real quick.
You mean wait? You said future?
Yeah, future.
Exactly. Which is my whole point. Which is that direction.
LordCognito. Let me get to this point real quick because I've told you before. I've said it before. This Iron Man simulator is going straight to the bushes. They're gonna fall beneath Division 1, not Division 2. They're gonna fall beneath Division 1 as far as the group of people that's gonna play this game. Okay. And the reason why they're chasing the casual dragon is because the success of games like Fortnite, the success of Destiny, even if you say Destiny 2 was a failure, it's a failure compared to itself.
But it's not a failure financially.
It's not a failure, okay? They're chasing the casual dragon. Now, they understand that they can't give you all these chains, just like Optimus Code said. They can't give you all these things that don't fit. They hear the talk. They understand what it is. And what they're doing is they're lessening the blow for you right now. They're telling you right now before you purchase a long time, so you can be like, when you purchase and you playing, you be like, yeah, they did say it was only gonna be like two lines of dialogue. Yeah, that's true. They did say that. They are softening your skull for the head crack right now. All right, and if you fall for that head crack and say, yo, I'm gonna get this game, I'm only going to play the EA Pass fun thing, the EA access.
Yeah.
I'm going to play that 10 hours they give me, and that game is going directly into the bushes. Because when they said no multiplayer, they're robbing you.
No PvP.
But the thing is,
let Cole rock it this off. I want to hear Cole's response.
Oh no, I was just saying it's multiplayer, just no PvP.
Yeah, PvP. I want to fight somebody.
Yeah, that's off.
My thing, that's fine. I understand where Cog is coming from. I completely understand that, because since that's what Casey is known for, what BioWare is known for.
Why they gonna bring him in if they ain't gonna do what he do?
Anthem was their opportunity to take the Destiny formula and elevate it to another level, right? Exactly. And they're not doing that. They're just adhering to what's there already to try to make another meat, like an also ran of that. Hopefully it's just as good. Hopefully it does something different. But by them eliminating that aspect of BioWare's pedigree, it feels like it's a totally different thing. Now that's fine. If you don't like it for Anthem, cool. I understand that, but it is a new thing. It's not necessarily, you can't necessarily expect that. Now, this other thing though, if you're telling me that Mass Effect is going to be affected by this type of gameplay, if Dragon Age is going to turn into this type of game, no.
Wait.
Listen,
let's back up.
Cognito, I just want you to notice, and this is what's happening, because you keep saying KT Hudson. Yay, KT Hudson. Anderson Silva. All right, you know where I'm going. He's a name. It's a name. It's a name you can trust. Right? When Anderson Silva fights right now, can you trust this game?
Listen, I feel you. And maybe I am living. No,
your man's a shell of himself.
King, I will never disrespect the great Casey Hudson. That's my
he disrespecting himself.
I know where you're going, right? I'm willing, like Floor Fast back in the chat, I am willing to reserve judgment until release. But also, King, I hear what you're saying, because I feel like head cracks are coming.
He is rubbing the back of your skull with the baby oil. He's about to
It's just again, it's just not the game. It may be a good game. It just may not be the game for me based on my assumptions coming in on what was assembled. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to get the game. Said.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the game. It's just one of those things that I'm like, okay. And again, when I hear terminology like, oh, this is a different audience, we're simplifying it. That's not used to those kinds of decisions and conversations. You know, it just feels, it doesn't feel right to me.
All I want to say is, if you guys don't think if this game is insanely successful that it's going to affect Dragon Age in them, I think it will.
Oh, absolutely. They said as much. They said as much. No matter what, success or not, this formula is being used in what we consider to be proper RPGs, Mass Effect and Dragon Age. That's disheartening to me. I don't care how you look at it. That's disheartening to me. And I realize that the Mass Effect formula has gotten more casual friendly from the first one on, but still, like to make it this type of game. That's not what I want out of Mass Effect.
And it still may be successful, and it still may follow the Destiny for it may be fantastic. It's just a different game. That's all I'm saying, and that's all I got on my rant. If anyone wants to jump in,
I'm good.
We're good. Code, you good? Addict, you good?
All I have to say is Anthem go in the bushes.
Wow.
And like every time I hear more about Anthem, I'm like,
it's bad news.
Like
it's
what?
Bad.
Like literally, like every time we've heard something about Anthem, it's not like a cool trailer or anything like that. It's what's funny is they show this cutscene, and the same people that are complaining about Destiny's story are the same people hyping this stuff up. And I'm just like, look at this game. Oh, it's got a cool cutscene. Guess what? Destiny's got cool cutscenes. that's the part that kills me. The same people that are hyping up that story, the story trailer that just launched, because I almost did a reaction to it, but I was like, nah, that's not for me. That they can keep that. But so I'm seeing this story, and the same people I'm seeing that's completely over this game. They're like, oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. And I'm just sitting here like, I'm sitting here watching these same people. That Cade expansion that just came out, that trailer's way better. Sure, it's an established brand that has characters that people know, but I'm sitting here looking at the same thing like, it's got story trailers too, but for some reason one's okay and the other one's not.
Listen, I feel you, man. And I want to shout out to Anthem before we move on to the last couple of topics. He said, everyone's so heated over Bioware and their franchises will want to keep their eyes peeled next week. Lord Editor with the exclusive. Something's coming. We gonna talk behind the scenes. And yes, King, shout out to Potentially Perfect in the chat. Yeah, I feel like they got the baby oil on the back.
They greasing the back of their head up. Pause.
Real quick, because this is pretty important, and we talk about it like in passing, like we acknowledge it, but we don't really like talk about it. When I say we, I mean the gaming community. Yeah. So there is a difference, and there is a stark difference between the developer and the publisher.
Right.
And
absolutely.
Most of the time, the developer wants to give the gamers what they want, and a lot of times the developers themselves are also gamers, and so they understand things from the perspective of a gamer.
Preach.
The problem is that the publishers will come in, and the publisher's primary objective is to make money.
Yes.
And if they think that if the developer has a core audience here, like an RPG, this has actually happened in our gaming history, in our game. And if an RPG does really good, aiming at its core market, but it captures the attention of a bunch of casuals, someone in the business will say, oh, wow, we hit 10 million. That's great. We expected to hit 1 million, but we hit 10 million. That's great. But why wasn't that 10, 20? Or why wasn't that 20, 30? And they will always make changes, and they don't mind risking alienating their core audience.
Yes, very true. So true. You're preaching.
The developer tries to guard against that, but they only have so much power. So my point is, we really, in this conversation, we should differentiate between BioWare and EA.
And that's what I was going to finish. You just nailed it. This guy's he's
because if BioWare can get a different publisher like Sony, where they have more creative freedom over their own products, we may have a different conversation. So just be careful about blaming the developers for a lot of decisions that we don't like.
I feel like EA is taking its studios and is running them through the bushes, man. Like, it's like it's like, you know, that scene in 300 where that dude just kicks Leonidas kicks the messenger off that big whole well. It's like they do that, and it's like they looking down the hole and like, if you can crawl up. Like,
listen, you know, it is what it is. We got to move on. We beat this thing to death, but fantastic words of wisdom. The chat is loving you, Lord Code. They're like, yo, Uncle Optimus preaching. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's saying it, and you're right. I need to make that separation between BioWare and EA, because again, maybe my core BioWare still has those things in place or would like to, but again, it's the call of, you know what I'm saying, the publisher.
I just want to do a meme and just put like BioWare and then just tag LordCognito on Twitter and it's like, is this your BioWare?
Lord Attic, you up, man. Let's fly through these last two and get out of here. Lord Attic, what's up, man? What's going on with Xbox?
Well, Xbox clearly, okay, for those of you, I want to make this quick because we're going way
over here.
But for those of you that know, on Destiny, not Destiny, at Gamescom, they actually had an Inside Xbox. They didn't really announce anything, you know, relevant there. They did, like, you know, the hunt thing. I think that was pretty good. You know, we obviously, if you want to, you can look at last week. We went pretty detailed, I think, into, but you know, so we're not really talking about Inside Xbox per se. I'm talking about the announcements they made afterwards. The All Access, and they announced the white Elite controller.
Yes,
I kind of feel like that should have been an Inside Xbox. Like, I just don't understand where you're going to spend 15 minutes talking about something that no one cares about, like assembling an arcade machine. when you had information that people went to watch Inside Xbox with, they could have broke it down a little bit more. People are still confused on All Access when they had like, it was like 60,000 people watching Inside Xbox. That's where they could have made this confusion more, not confusing.
I'm confused with this. Are you talking about All Access, or are you talking about the controller?
No, and both of them. I'm saying that those should have been on EA. Those should
they weren't targeting that market. They weren't targeting that market.
Like they weren't. All Access wasn't going to target that market, so it didn't make sense for them to talk about it.
I get that, but at the end of the day, okay, maybe not the All Access, but why was it the controller at least there?
I don't know. I can't
know. It doesn't make sense because that was the platform.
Yeah,
like I just feel like the All Access thing. That's not a Gamescom. I forgot about the whole Germany thing.
Yeah,
but that's cool. But why wasn't the controller?
Didn't they show a whole bunch of them fake custom systems with the bundles that they were showing?
The box tickets?
But we're not talking about the.
But this is what I'm talking about because
value of Inside Xbox.
No,
established. So that's
we know that's in the bushes. But what I'm saying is they showed. I don't know how many fake custom systems that they showed. They showed like 4 or 5 of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they showed like 4 at least.
No, they didn't show any custom. They just
they showed one semi-custom.
Yeah, them packing
different brown boxes.
Yeah, but brown box.
There was one that was like a brown colored.
It was. Yeah, no. But I think to that point that got left on the cutting room floor. I think they were saying that the bundles was more important than actually talking about that one controller, because I think the controller could have been thrown in there with the white system, but then again, I think they wanted to push those fake custom systems.
I feel like just little stuff like when they're announcing the new custom things that's on the store, and they're like, and you know what else? Right now, or whenever they're going to announce it, we're actually launching an Elite controller. Like, I just don't like why you save.
Nobody wants that old model though. That old
maybe they took it out because people thought it was a new version, and that's the reason they took it out. But at the same time, it's like you're going to announce it on Twitter. Like you're gonna let Major Nelson announce it on his website. It's like, but you built this platform to announce stuff.
I feel you. Shout out to JD Gamer. He said Larry didn't want to pull out the white gloves on the white controller and get dragged by the internet again.
It is.
Yo, let me jump in quick. I get code to finish off. Look, I hear you saying that, man. Some decisions are surprising. Some of them I think are region based. But some are surprising in that. I was surprised by that. But let's just get to the business. Like, I ain't interested in this controller. I mean, if it's not version 2 Elite, shout out to my boy David Preen. That's my dude. That's the homie. He's the originator of the Elite, and it's a fantastic controller. But we all thought Project Washburn, you know what I'm saying, this was what it was going to be. And when we didn't hear that, that's a disappointment. I don't care about another colored version of the old one. White console looks good. I wish, again, we don't know why, maybe a region as far as the X not being showed there, the white X. The Turtle Beaches look fire. I thought the Turtle Beaches look fire, but I got to throw them in the bushes. Ain't no Dolby Atmos. Shout out to Sonic Riggs. Those are my people. So you know where I'm riding. I'm about that Atmos life. So again, none of this stuff is for me, but I am happy about the console, like a true custom colored console that looks clean, looks nice. It's just none of this stuff for me.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the custom stuff, man, did you see that Tomb Raider console? That's a custom console. Like that.
It's gonna cost you $3,000 plus.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no doubt. Black Panther one too. Code, real quick on you, and then we move on as far as this whole white Elite controller console.
Not really. I don't. Those bundles, those custom, they're not custom. Those are just some lame color. Like
it's a color with a game in it.
I'm cool. I got nothing on that.
No doubt. We will move on. Last topic, Lord King, DayZ. What's popping?
All right. I just want to give you a quick rundown on DayZ. DayZ has launched in game preview. Now, shout out to Jez, Grind My Gears. You was complaining not too long ago about game preview games being launched in preview without giving you a chance to try it before you buy it. And that's one of the games that give you to try it before you buy it. Who did that for you? Phil did that for you. Understand that. All right. He heard you, he saw you, and he actually did that for you. But this game has taken, and you can group up with your friends, you can meet in the world with these zombies. It's very early preview. The engine is running really nice. My experience with the game is not a game that I'm going to purchase at this point, because it didn't give me that initial pop.
Mm-hmm.
I ran in houses. I saw zombies. I was completely terrified.
Mm-hmm.
The world is like somebody really threw you in the bushes because you're running through the bushes, and there's no lights. Sometimes when you're playing at night, it is horrifying. All right.
Okay.
And you got a couple of bullets, but you got to eat food. You got to drink water. It's a survivalist game. If you're into that, it's in preview right now. You get 1 hour to test it out. And I think the game is like $29, and it will get better over time. If anything's any indication, PUBG did it. I just wanted to get that out there to you guys. I really don't want any feedback on it. I want us to end this show because we are half an hour over.
Yeah, no, I mean, literally, I'm just going because I played it. So, I mean, before, like, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to shout out the dudes from Bohemian Entertainment. I will say this, like Joel King saying, the engine is fantastic. That was one of the standout engines on the X as far as I saw it running. It was one of the better looking games there, you know. So, you know, it's out there. It's game preview, you know, had a chance to check it out. If you haven't seen it, if you want to see more on it, if you're undecided, please check out the ILP YouTube channel because we have the interview with the dev up there as well as some footage. Plug. Go check it out. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I got on it. But yeah, it's in game preview. If you're into that thing, I know people been waiting for it to come to console. By all means, go ahead. So if anybody got anything else on DayZ, we'll move in this thing. All right. All right, cool. So new poll this week. And it's funny that we got a Optimus code on. So before a highly anticipated AAA game is released, how important are initial negative impressions, videos, or articles to you? A, important. Devs need to be honest and held accountable for footage shown. B, somewhat important. Negative impressions may influence me to wait on the game. C, not important. I buy what I want regardless. Or D, I don't care unless the puddle and the horse textures is on fleek. That is the question. Those are the choices. Please like the IOP vote when it goes up on Twitter tomorrow. Lord Optimus Code. An absolute pleasure. The OG to have you in the realm of the Lord. Where can the find you and what you got going on?
Just on Twitter at Optimus_code. I talk about gaming topics and programming topics. And then, you know, the couple of websites that I built. And I built those from scratch specifically because I cannot deal with YouTube and their restrictions on language and I think I should get an A for the day because
because I watch your channel. Yeah.
Like I said, salute to all of Optimus Code because
people don't understand what it's like to be an Optimus.
He's like, I'm a beast. He was like, I just want to let you know, I don't know if I'm ready for the realm just yet. I said, bro, I get it. And I want to commend you. Thank you so much for respecting, you know what I'm saying, the realm. And again, still fantastic content, the most dangerous vlog on the net. But the man drops knowledge. And like I said, when you check out the gamer, the protocol, you know what I'm saying, what makes a real gamer, and just his knowledge, his vast knowledge of what he experienced in the industry and what's going on and his opinions on gaming. Please check it out. Plug your site. What is it?
It's realgamer.life. Real easy. Realgamer.life. And I want to say, man, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Like, I have a lot of respect for y'all. I really do.
Thank you, bro.
Because y'all have balanced perspectives. Y'all have a lot of fun. And I just really respect the brand that y'all building, man. I really do.
I really appreciate it. It really means a lot coming from you, the OG, man. So much respect, man. And like I said, we're just trying to do this thing the right way. And it's great to have, you know what I'm saying, people like you on the platform because we get to learn a lot of stuff. You drop so much now today. Chat was definitely loving you. There's no doubt about it. Lord Addict, what do you have going on and where can people find you?
I'm about to release a video tomorrow. I'm not going to say the name. I'm just going to let that be a surprise. But, definitely, you know, catch us weekly every Sunday at 11 p.m.
11 a.m.
a.m., bro.
tomorrow. The Lord's bend the knee to football.
You can catch the IOP next week at 11 a.m. and Lord Addict at 12 p.m. No, I'll be here next week. And shout out to our wonderful guest. Here is his Twitter. I will put it in the comment section.
Yes,
Definitely
please.
go follow him on Twitter.
Yes, please.
Very entertaining guy. You guys don't understand what it is like to have a very R-rated mouth and come on this show. It's not easy.
He mentioned you too. He's like, I know Addict be wanting to cuss. I know.
Yeah.
For those of you that see me on Planet Xbox, you know that I'm very different on that one, just a little bit. So once again, definitely appreciate everyone for coming by. We had up to like 85 people in here. Definitely appreciate the support.
Appreciate that,
even Cat Daddy Fat Sticks, definitely appreciate him coming through.
You said Cat Daddy Fat Sticks? Yo!
He said fat sacks, fat sticks.
Yo!
Look, man. Look, okay. I'm tired. You're gonna have to get over that. I got stuff I gotta do. I need to end this, but no, King wants to correct me when he could do that.
No, I'm not gonna let it slide.
Shout out to Addict for being funny. Dude, the Lord Psalm. I might have to change your name. You've been like online 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do I change your name yet?
Let me address that. I'll address that right. First, shout out to Optimus Code. Thank you for coming through, brother. Like, really appreciate it, man. I always love having gamers that are from our generation and have the same type of stories that we've lived. So I just definitely appreciate you coming through. As for me, you can catch me frauding on Destiny up until I'm not gonna be offline anymore. You will see me. I may not talk to you, but you'll see me.
I'm dead.
But you will see me. I'll be there
anyway.
You're gonna utilize the Xbox Live Do Not Disturb feature.
No, I won't use that. That's kind of rude. I'd rather just not talk to you.
I will use that.
But you'll catch me frauding on Destiny until Spider-Man is in my hands, until Tomb Raider's in my hands, and then I will disappear as I always do.
No doubt. We already know that Spidey coming. Lord King in the realm, hilarious as always. Where can the people find you?
Yo, first and foremost, I would like to salute the OG.
Facts.
Because a lot of stuff that he talked about, y'all didn't. If y'all watch the podcast over again, I want you to please listen very closely to the gems that he was dropping. He said his daytime life was very different from his nighttime life, and coming from South Bronx, hanging out with my cousin took me from that nighttime life, and we had EA. So when he's saying EA and he's saying Lakers versus Celtics, and he's saying stuff like that, allowed that saved
that arcade story that was lit.
Yeah, it saved people from different things. So I respect and I salute you 100%. When you send me the DM and you was like, yo, check this out, I value your opinion. I was like, let me check it out. Soon as I checked it out, I hit Cognito. I said, yo, he is probably the most hilarious dude that I've seen. And I loved it instantly. So if anybody's not watching this channel, please get over to his channel and watch his channel right now. Optimus Code is just like y'all hear me in chat, I'm not the same. This is for the kids, all right? This the IOP is for the children. We embrace the casual. We embrace everybody. Do not get fooled and think this is the same king that you get in Destiny on chat, because it's not the same guy. All right, I want you to understand that part.
Listen, facts. And like I said, again, salute to Lord Code for, like I said, admonishing the code and just like I said, just submit to the realm of the lords and just being cool. He threw his corporate suit on today, so to speak.
Oh yes, it was beautiful. He was in a business meeting.
Yeah, he's in business mode, and I love that, man. That's dope. But yeah, man, I just want to again salute. We got a lot of things going on. Obviously, attention, to Lord Addict's chagrin. Starting next week, the NFL laws will be switching to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Probably doing that to the beginning of the new year before we switch back to our original schedule. But the Lords must bend the knee to fantasy football and the NFL season. It's going down. next week. We got that. And of course, I want to shout out the stream team real quick. Again, all the members of the stream team.
El Boogie.
But El Boogie, Super G,
Snaldo.
Nintendo, exactly, Snaldo. All right, listen, follow Snaldo on Twitter, y'all. This Friday, he's got a giveaway going on. He's got some copies of some games going on. I believe if you're on Steam, he's giving Scum away. So it's going to be Friday night. He's going to be doing that 7 to 10. So please join that stream. Even if you're just trying to get the free game, get in that stream, man. He's doing giveaways. He's gonna be popping. Snaldo. It's SNA. I can't always butcher his name. NAYLDO. Follow him on Twitter. I'll retweet it on ILP so you guys can catch that. So yeah, make sure again subscribe, hit the like and all that. YouTube, ILP Patreon, all that good stuff, and obviously our personal ILP channel. Also, definitely want to shout out Lord Kaibatsu on the audio. That's gonna be going up later tonight, including the timestamps and all that good stuff. And special Flashpoint 30, that was with Ebontis and Wilhelm Scream. That was up on the ILP channel for the latest in Forsaken. We're getting ready for that. And yeah, man, that's all we got. Next Sunday, 11 a.m. You know the deal. Anybody got anything else to say before we get out of here?
Saturday, Combat Talk with the King. You're going to get the pre-fight. You're going to get what's going to happen. And then Sunday, you're going to get the results.
Nice.
This is what I've been waiting for. And then right after that, you got Triple G versus Canelo. But this fight is what you are waiting for. If you want to get informed, come check me out. I'm going to put it up all over the place. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the ILP channel. It's going to be all over the place. You're not going to miss it. Yeah,
and one correction real quick because Sonaldo's killing me. It's on the ILP Twitch channel. That is correct. So again, subscribe to the Iron Lord podcast on Twitch. That's where the stream's going on Friday, 7 p.m. to 10. And if you gave me the information earlier, Snaldo, I wouldn't have butchered it. Anyway, on that note, everybody enjoy your Sunday. We out of here. Peace.